is the doctor. Why do you call him the doctor, Philly? Well, it's simple, because my man has a PhD in personality, and I'm talking about you, Jonathan Reimer.
Oh, Philly, what a pleasure it is to be back with you here from the rafters of Toyota Arena, getting ready for some hot Western Conference MASL action.
Indeed we are. I don't know about you, but I think my voice just came back after that crazy Wednesday game that we had here between the Fury and the Sockers. For those of you who don't know, the last time the Ontario Fury took the turf at Toyota Arena was against the Sockers. It took regulation. It took overtime. It took a shootout to determine the victor. And unfortunately for the Ontario Fury, it's the Sockers who came up with the W. And the Fury today are looking for that W to ensure that San Diego doesn't run away with the Western Division.
Well, speaking of maintaining your place within the standings, when you're facing an interdivision rival like the Tacoma Stars today, wins are ever the more important, Philly.
A team that is 2-5, underachieving, but a team that on any given day can beat anybody. They're loaded with talent. They have 5 All-Stars. They even put up 15 goals in a game against the St. Louis Ambush. But these past 2 matches, they have been outscored by a sum of 18-5. And this is a team that features the franchise, Nick Pereira, one of the best keepers in MASL, Danny Waltman, and of course a player who's no stranger to championships, Vinny Dantas.
Well, look, if the Fury are going to come out on top today, they're going to have to go man for man against that all-star lineup that Tacoma brings in. And, of course, the Fury are stacked with talent to be able to counteract that themselves.
We all know about Frank Tayou. We all know about Justin Stinson. But the Fury have other options. Thiago Gonçalves collecting on the goals and the assists. We have Jesus Pacheco, who is having a breakout year. And, of course, we got to mention the Fury's third leading goal scorer, George De Leon.
He's been sensational. A couple of wonder golazos that we have seen throughout the course of this season so far. With that, Philly, why don't we go ahead and kick it into our keys to the game today. Our first key to the game today is going to be to direct the emotion into execution. We have seen a lot of very, very emotional matches so far throughout the course of this season. And something that has happened time in and time out is as the emotion of the game elevates, the Fury lack that execution. And if they are going to succeed today, they're going to have to pour all those emotions they're feeling right now into the tactics. We know they want to win for the gaffer, as of course Coach Jimmy Nordberg will be serving his 1-game suspension and unavailable today. We know they want to win for Willie Spur, who is regrettably out with a proximal tibia plateau fracture that should see him out for about the next 4 to 6 weeks. All of those emotions are going to have this team running hot today. They've got to be able to channel that effectively, Philly.
Of course, the Fury will be missing Willie Spur. And Willie, if you can hear us, we sincerely hope your recovery is speedy. We miss you. We can't wait to see you on the turf. And in 4 to 6 weeks, if my memory serves me correctly, potentially means we could have you back for playoffs. All the best, Willie. Definitely looking forward to seeing you back here at Toyota Arena.
Our second key to the game today is going to make sure that we do not let Tacoma have hope. If you want to be successful against a team like this, you got to run the score up and run it up early. You can't let them feel like they're in this game, Philly.
We saw that against San Diego. San Diego on Friday against Tacoma at Pechanga Arena went up big within the first quarter, and as a result of that flurry of goals by the Sockers, the Tacoma Stars were unable to get themselves back into the matchup.
Our third key to the game today is going to be to contain the captain. And by the captain, of course, we're talking about Nick Pereira, captain of the All-Star game last season, captain of the U.S. Men's Beach National Team, and of course, he's leading the team. Goals, assists, points. The Iberian beast himself. You've got to go ahead and put a handle on him to succeed today.
And they shut him down in San Diego, and we see that. You also forgot most outstanding player when he was at the University of California at Santa Barbara. Nick Pereira, a legend within the indoor game and the outdoor game. But of course, another thing, Doctor, that we do need to improve on here in Ontario is the performance against the 6th attacker or the penalty kill.
Absolutely. The Fury have capitulated far too often this season versus the extra attacker, be it in power plays or that 6th man. Our final key to the game, Philly, is going to be to look past the locks. And are we talking about the lock-up defense of the Tacoma Stars?
We are not talking about the lock-up defense of the Tacoma Stars.
On an NFL day, are we talking about picking the locks to that locker room a la Bill Belichick?
No locks are going to be picked here.
The
Security is tight.
The Loch Ness Monster?
Nessie isn't a real thing, Doctor.
No, our last key to the game today is going to be Danny Waltman. And if the Fury are going to succeed, they're going to have to look past those dreamy locks locks of one Danny Waldman. Those bronze locks are bringing a Rapunzelian goal repellent with them. The Fury are going to have to see through that to the back of the net if they succeed today. Well, folks, we're going to be right back after these messages by Ford with today's kickoff.
Available interior work surface to work it out up front, plus the capability of available Pro Power on board to work it out in back. Tough this smart can only be called F-150. Introducing the all-new 2021 Ford F-150.
We can talk about vaccine hesitancy.
There is a subcategory that is afraid about the speed at which the vaccine was developed. The pioneers are just amazing, incredible individuals. I mean, we're standing on the work that they did.
It really wasn't rushed through. It's extremely difficult to predict who's going to die from COVID and who's not going to die from it.
And the twilight's less gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, oh, the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave? Oh, the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Gwendolyn Nunez with our national anthem today. Folks, the officials for today's match are brought to you by Capelli. Capelli is the official uniform sponsor of the MASL game officials. Today's officials are crew chief Brian Miller, referee Fernando Pena, assistant referee Lauren Barnett, fourth official Dan Sobieski, and penalty box referee is going to be Andreas Saucedo. Folks, As we're sure you're coming off the intensity of some NFL action, we'd like to remind you that it's time to chill with some MASL. Chill is the official CBD brand of the MASL, helping our athletes reach their maximum potential by promoting proper and expedited recovery. Welcome to the club, Chill Brands. The MASL is thrilled to announce that this fall the MASL will be holding its first ever college draft. Visit maslsoccer.com for more information. The Gino DiPolito Award was announced recently by the MASL. Gino was a beloved referee and pillar of the indoor soccer community. The MSL is honored to be able to pay tribute to his legacy with the naming of the new award, the Gino DiPolito Referee of the Year Award, to be given each year in the MASL in his honor. Philly, we're live from Toyota Arena on MASL TV, getting ready for some Western Conference powerhouse. Let's take a look at the lineups today. In goal, we've got Clayson DeLima taking over for Chris Toth, who picked up a knock versus San Diego. A defense of Thiago Gonçalves and Uzi Tayou. A midfield of Jesus Pacheco and Justin the Stinger Stinson. And of course, the king himself, Frank Tayou, rounding out the starting lineup for your Ontario Fury.
Certainly excited about today's matchup, Doctor. Wish we had some of that Chill Brands in our possession right now, but we're going to be underway. I can't wait for this game to start.
As we see our refs rocking those sweet Capelli kits coming out to the center of the field there, I'd like to remind you all that those Capelli kits are available online and customizable. Head over to OntarioFury.com to pick up your customized kit today. We see the Flight ball being placed at the center of the field. We'd like to remind you Flight is the official match ball of the MASL, designed and produced expertly by Flight. Flight is the premier partner of choice. Flight, challenge everything.
Looks like the starters for Tacoma in between the pipes. You got Danny Waltman in the midfield, hugging Frank Tayou. We're looking at Vinny Dantas. We're looking at number 17, Danny Manetti. Number 25, Michael Ramos. That looks like Caceres. And I believe that is Adam West on the other end. Tacoma, Ontario, the first of 5 matchups this season, Doctor. You think we got to know San Diego really well this season? We're going to get to know Tacoma as well. Last time these two teams squared off against each other in this arena was March 12th last year, a matchup in which the Ontario Fury won 7-6. We are underway at Toyota Arena.
Interesting to see Nick Pereira not getting the start today. You have to wonder if that means they're going to try and change his line.
Great move off the boards by Stinson, getting by 2 defenders, but that ball gets intercepted by Ramos. Caceres, former member of the Ontario Fury. In fact, there are 4 players on Tacoma that once called Toyota Arena home. We're talking about Caceres. We're talking about Jeff Bader. Jeff Bader was here in the inaugural season for Ontario, playing in every game. On the ball, Nick Pereira, he had a season in Ontario. And there's a pass, there's a shot. Oh, just missed. And that was Alex Megson. The elegant assassin came ever so close to opening up the scoring column here in Toyota.
Well, he's going to be wishing he had that one back.
Play broken up, and there's a goal. He took that one back. He clearly heard us up here in the booth. It is Alex Megson scoring the goal for Tacoma. That is his first goal of the season. Let's take a look at the replay on that one, Doctor.
Yeah, the ball spills out here, and he's just able to recollect and tap it in. It's a goal, son, for Megson.
Goal indeed, and this is exactly what Tacoma wanted to get started, to get out on the boards early, and they did so. Less than a minute into the game, scoring here in Toyota Arena.
Questions have to be asked of the Ontario defense, allowing 2 wide open looks for a tap in there within the first minute of the game.
Yep. Alex Megson, his father Neil, played with the Stars from 83 to 92. He was a member of the 2010-2011 All-MISL rookie team, and him and Danny Waltman won a championship together in Kansas City as members of the Missouri Comets.
Yeah, Tacoma, Washington's finest, getting started for the Tacoma Stars. The hometown boy gets the back of the net first. It's Tacoma 1, Ontario 0 with 13 and change left.
And if you're looking at the Fury bench, you will notice that Coach Jimmy Nordberg is not dressed up. And why is that, Doctor?
Well, he received a red card for some naughty potty language in the last game versus the Sockers, Philly.
We're seeing a coaching debut for Corey Murray and also Jeff Hughes on the sidelines with him as well. There's a shot into the boards by Frank Tayou.
Yeah, Corey Murray making his debut, a coaching performance, barring the few minutes he collected at the end of our last game. And Jeff Hughes getting a chance to don the assistant captain's responsibilities for the evening.
He's no stranger to this. He has been a player coach within his tenure playing this indoor game. We have a goalkeeper distribution ready for Danny Waltman. Danny Waltman, a veteran of this game, a veteran of this league, a standout at the University of Washington. Pressure by Nestor Hernandez. Pass by Nick Pereira, back Adam West drives it out. Ball comes back to the Fury.
Folks, I'd like to take a moment to remind you about some of our Fury sponsors. National Core, National Community Renaissance, and Hope Through Housing Foundation provides high-quality, affordable apartment homes and supportive services that inspire hope, present opportunity, generate prosperity, and empower individuals of all ages. Join us in transforming lives and community at hopethroughhousing.org.
Ball gets intercepted by Johnny Topete. Topete looking to get one past Danny Waltman. Danny with a hand on the ball. West trying to clear it. Back to the Fury. Stinson on the restart.
What a fantastic save there. Full extension by the keeper. Just able to get a palm on it. Danny Waldman looking good and playing good.
Stinson allows Topete to take it. Topete with a shot. Try to find Abdul Mansoure, but that ball gets blocked. Megson passes it out. And that ball gets cleared to Clayson DeLima. DeLima finding Emmanuel Aguirre in the midfield.
We're going to have a violation of the goalkeeper rule with an immediate pass back to the keeper there. That's going to be a restart from the side of the foul since the penalty occurred outside of the box. So no top of the box. From the side of the foul, a restart here for Tacoma.
And a quick mental lapse by the Fury early on in the game. There's Nick Pereiro passing to Vidi Dantas. There's a shot saved by Clayson DeLima. That shot was taken by Mike Ramos. Gonçalves passing up to the midfield to Stinson. Stinson back to Tiago.
Clayson able to sit on that shot, Philly.
Travis Pittman in his second matchup with the Fury this season, former member of the San Diego Sockers, passing to his former college teammate Uzi Tayou. Uzi, Frank, and Travis played together at West Virginia University. Go Volunteers. And there's Frank trying to get by Corey Keats. Frank with a shot off of the boards. Cleared by Corey Keats. Corey Keats scoring the first goal ever in the MASL All-Star Game, and I got to give a shout-out to him. When he scored that goal at Cable Dom Arena, his goal-scoring dance was in tribute to Joseph the Jet Kyrell. Joseph the Jet, as you know, a beloved member of both the Tacoma Stars and the Ontario Fury. The Fury have his jersey 91 right behind their bench, and of course they keep his jersey in the locker room. Rest in peace, you are missed, but you are not forgotten, Joseph Kyrell.
That number 91 on every single game sheet and announced as an active member of the lineup before every Fury game.
Mike Ramos passing the ball up to Nick Pereira. Ramos, a 2015 MLS Super Draft pick by Toronto. However, he did not sign with Toronto FC. And Tacoma with a couple of players that actually played in Major League Soccer.
Yeah, a couple Sounders prospects as well as that TFC draftee.
Megson with a shot off of the boards. Pacheco there. Passing it off to George De Leon, the third leading scorer on this Ontario Fury team. He tried to find Captain Israel Cisse.
Again, we see the Fury having issues playing the ball out of their own defensive end, something that has been a constant throughout the course of this season, Philly.
Corey Murray needs to settle down his troops. Robert Palmer, the reigning defender of the year, passing it off to Uzi Tayou. I'm sorry, Israel Cisse, my mistake. Izzy and Jeff Bader, teammates that first season here at Toyota Arena in 2014. Pacheco to Topete. Topete marked by Ismael DeLuna. His third season in Tacoma, the Olympic College alum. He gets the whistle on Johnny Topete. 10 minutes and 37 seconds left to go here in the first quarter. Folks, if you're just joining us, Tacoma started the scoring line off early with a goal by the elegant assassin, number 77, Alex Megson. And the Fury just trying to get back into the ball game here. Ball played off of the boards. Alessandro Canali, marked by Uzi and Nestor. Whistle.
Looks like we're going to have ourselves a drop ball.
Canali having a really good season in Tacoma. 9 goals, 2 assists, 11 points on the season. He's the number 2 guy as far as their points are concerned. Number 2 guy as far as their goals are concerned as well. Breakout year for the young man. Former University of California at San Diego Triton. Clayson. Finding Aguirre. Aguirre marked by Caceres. Ball off of the boards. There's an attempt by number 28, Alan Perez. That young man has worked hard to make it to this Fury roster. I'd like to see a lot of big things coming out of number 28, Alan Perez. Ball gets intercepted by Danny Minetti. Perez there to clean it up. Back to DeLima.
Back-to-back interceptions for the man recently promoted from Fury 2. He's been putting in some good work there at the Y in Upland.
He certainly has. He's been part of Fury for a couple of years now. Hard work does pay off, ladies and gentlemen. Gracing the Fury roster today against Tacoma. Stinson, one of the best 1v1 players, getting by Danny Minetti, showing why he's one of the best. Passes it out to Frank Tayou. Tayou tries to find his teammate, but that ball gets intercepted by Tacoma. Tacoma on the counter. And there's a whistle. Logan Jones attracts the foul.
We see Frank Tayou picking up his first foul of the game. Certainly been a constant throughout the course of this season as well, too.
Leading the league in fouls. The King needs to keep himself out of foul trouble. We see Abdul Mansoure marking Adam West.
Frank with 14 penalty minutes on the season and only 13 goals.
Danny Waltman coming up high, crossing the midfield. You know Danny Waltman's got a boot on him. Finds Nick Pereira. Pereira marked by Palmer. Pereira wisely resets, passes it out to Dantas. Dantas, a member of the Baltimore Blast. Member of the all-rookie team, too, during the 2015 season. Canale backheels it to Pereira. Stinson, good defense. Getting by. Mansoure with Berto trying to get by Adam West. Mansoure to Palmer. What a save by Danny Waltman.
Wow.
That nearly resulted in a goal, but the veteran keeper makes one heck of a save, keeping Tacoma in the game.
Certainly looked like Fury had a tap in there at the back post, but Waltman, what can you say?
You're not going to sneak one past him that easily. Caceres. Marked by Mansoure. Mansoure in his second season with the Ontario Fury. If you remember, he had that first big goal in the minigame of the Ron Newman Cup final against the Sockers. Waltman, well out of his net, crossing the ball over to Megson. Megson out to Pereira. Pereira back out to Megson off of the boards. Marked by Topete. Megson trying to find himself some space off of the boards. Travis Pittman there to clear things up. Caceres. And that ball goes out of play. Ontario ball.
With that, folks, it looks like we're going to have our first media timeout of the game. We're going to go ahead and head out to a break. And we'll be right back after these messages, powered by Ford. What a save by Waltman.
Available interior work surface to work it out up front, plus the capability of available Pro Power on board to work it out in back. Tough this smart can only be called F-150. Introducing the all-new 2021 Ford F-150.
Folks, welcome back to Toyota Arena. We'd like to kick it down to the sidelines to the third member of our broadcast team. It's time for our resident nurse to give us some information on Premier COVID testing.
Thanks, boys. Hey, the only thing we care about is getting fans in the stands, and we want to help make that as easy as possible on all of you. So whether you're vaccinated or unvaccinated, we've got a solution because we have partnered with Premier COVID Testing so that we can provide you all with free COVID tests on site. They're fast, they're easy, and they're going to allow you all to join us in the arena tonight so that we can cheer on with our Fury faithful. Rise with Fury. Back to you guys in the booth.
Panda certainly sweating today. She is the reigning Rams Fan of the Year, and the Rams in a crucial game in the NFC Championship against the San Francisco 49ers. And it looks like the Bengals have made it through to the Super Bowl. They have beaten the Kansas City Chiefs. We shall see what happens between the Niners and the Rams, but we're talking about a different game right now. Indoor soccer, North America's greatest game.
Hey, man, our condolences to everyone in Comets Land. I'm sure they were rooting for KC. Bergrid, Vassos, sorry, boys.
Pacheco trying to get by Danny Minetti, passing the ball back to Thiago Gonçalves. Gonçalves off of the boards to Tayou. Tayou trying to find himself some space. Logan Jones marking him pretty well, but there's a whistle. We have a foul.
Yeah, handful of jersey there. He's going to be whistled for the common foul.
Foul on number 4, Logan Jones. He is a rookie this season, played with the Stars Reserve, alumni of Tacoma Community College. He's got himself 2 goals on the season, having a pretty good rookie year. Tayou to Gonçalves. Thiago with a shot off of the boards. Miniti clearing the ball out. Aguirre running it down. 6 minutes and 58 seconds left to go here in the first quarter. Tacoma up 1-0 on the Ontario Fury. Israel Cisse to Pacheco. Pacheco in trouble, passes it out to Uzi. Uzi out to Izzy. Back out to Clayson. Clayson. Logan Jones there. And that seems to be the play. Logan Jones seems to know that Clayson is looking for Frank. Logan Jones doing a really good job on Frank Tayou. And there's Travis Pittman kicking the ball back out to Clayson DeLima.
You have to wonder how much the performance of Pino for the San Diego Sockers has spelled a recipe for success for defenders looking at Frank the rest of the year.
We know they're going to look for him. I mean, he is one heck of a scorer. You don't score 400 points on accident in this league. De Leon out to Palmer. Palmer to Tayou. Tayou getting by Canale. Jones still on him. All over him. Whistle.
Looks like it's going to be handball called against Tacoma. Fury get themselves a nice opportunity here from just wide of a corner.
And it's Thiago Gonçalves on the restart. Thiago out to Topete. Topete with a shot. Picked up by Vinny. Miniti clearing it out to Canale. Back out to Waltman. Adam West. Down to Dantas. Gonçalves there to pick it up. Looking to find Stinson. And we have a whistle. Tacoma looking good in this opening frame here.
Certainly a completely different team than we saw versus San Diego. Off on the front foot. Fury look like they're struggling a little bit to find their offensive prowess.
And Tacoma got down early, really quickly in the matchup against San Diego on Friday. And in the previous match in downtown Kansas City against the Comets, they also went down really early. But this is a whole different game for them. They're in it with the lead, with more than half of this period gone.
This is a team that could certainly score goals, Philly. We saw them put up 15 versus St. Louis not that long ago.
No, an eye-opening 15. I mean, Nick Pereira had multitude of points in that game. Look, again, this is a team that is underachieved, but like we said in the pregame, they could beat anyone on any given day. Megson, marked by Cisse. Oh, tried to find Ramos, but Pacheco there. Pacheco's defense clearly stopped the potential goal from happening. And that ball gets headed out. Restart, ball comes back to Ontario. And during the huddle, what we were witnessing during the timeout, it was Jeff Hughes that was being vocal. Jeff Hughes, a veteran of the game, a veteran of this team, a well-respected player, and a former league MVP in his own right.
Jimmy Nordberg watching the game from the locker room today, of course, after receiving a red card versus San Diego. Might be joining the broadcast a little bit later. If we can twist his arm to show up here, we'll see.
Well, since we can't have pitch side with Panda because it's the NFC Championship game, we're gonna have. I can't think of a clever acronym for you going down the doctor's domain. Yeah, we'll call it the doctor's domain. But yeah, we're hoping Jimmy Nordberg's gonna join us right before the half.
A la the Titanic, we've got a Nordberg right ahead.
Ball coming back to Tacoma. Corey Keats being helped off the field. It's been a fun day. Getting helped up on the turf by the referee. Waltman to Pereira. Pereira out to DeBray Holloman. DeBray, another former member of the Ontario Fury. His father, LB, was the assistant coach on Ontario last season.
The Holloman family, some absolutely wonderful people. Shouts to LB, one of the best people in the world of indoor soccer.
Certainly is. We had a great interview with him on the Striking Fury podcast. Panda and him share the same birthday. DeBray, former San Diego State Aztec. And there's a shot by Frank Tayou. Tried to get more boot on that leather, but Danny Waltman was there to pick things up. Holloman. Passing it out to Canale. Canale, good footwork. Passes it out to Pereira. He's got Megson down low. De Leon, there's a shot off of the boards, and it's a rebound. Canale with the goal. His 10th goal of the season, number 89, opening up his scoring account here in Ontario.
Let's catch the replay on this one as Captain Nick Pereira takes the ball down the right, fires off the wall, and it looks like it comes off the upper thigh there of Canale, who's able to find an open tap-in at the back of the net. Once again, the same recipe for Tacoma so far. Take it to the side, play it off the board to the advancing man, and the Fury for the third time, and the second goal scored by the Tacoma Stars.
Tacoma up 2-0. Ontario find themselves in a hole. Look, the last time these two squared off against each other, it was a very, very competitive game, and we didn't expect anything less today. Despite the fact that Tacoma's only won 2 games this season, they're due for a performance like this. Ontario trying to do everything in their power to prevent that, though, from happening. Ball off of the boards from Palmer to Pacheco. Pacheco with Caceres on him. He pulls out past the yellow line. Passes it out to Cisse. Cisse down low to Mansoret. Mansoret out to Berto. Berto trying to find some space. Passes it out to Pacheco. Pacheco to De Leon. De Leon had a couple of goals in the last matchup here against San Diego on Wednesday.
Anytime he cuts middle of the pitch like that, you have to wonder if he's thinking about firing for that top corner.
He's always thinking about firing for the top corner, and he has that type of power. Good defense by Ramos on Cisse. Good pass for De Leon to Pacheco. There's a shot off of the boards. De Leon. Ramos pushes Pacheco out of the way, trying to get by 2 defenders, and Berto is there to pick Ramos's pocket. 2 minutes and 30 seconds left to go here in the first quarter. Fury find themselves in a hole, down 2-0. 2-0 rather. Pittman trying to find some space past Maniti. Maniti steals the ball away. West off of the boards. Pittman intercepts. Off of the boards, trying to find Tayou. Scooped up by Danny Waltman. Waltman letting one load fly. Canale, marked by Topete. No foul on Stinson. Keats. And there's a whistle.
It looks like we're getting a card coming out here. Oh, no, that was just the ref tucking something back in his pocket. Excuse me.
Yeah, picking a nerve looked like it would have been his whistle. Even from up here, it looked like he had something in his hand.
Certainly, you see that reach for the pocket and your heart jumps a little.
Of course. That's why we need more of the chill brands in our possession. Pereira to Caceres. West with a shot. It goes wide. Outstretched Clayson, though. And there's a foot race between Caceres and Stinson. Stinson wins the ball. Looks like it's going to be a whistle on Pereira. Stinson again, great footwork. We've said this on many a broadcast. It's just amazing how the ball looks like it's glued to Justin's feet.
Oh, that beautiful Flight ball. Of course, Flight, the official match ball of the MASL, produced and designed expertly for the indoor game. Flight, challenge everything.
De Leon winds up with a shot. Saved by Danny Waltman. Caceres there to clean it up. Another great save by the veteran keeper.
Oh, we are going to be seeing some of those on MASL Primetime this week. Folks, MASL Primetime is the home for the best highlights, interviews, and action each week from the MASL.
De Leon into the netting. Goalkeeper distribution.
Catch the latest episode of MASL Primetime each Wednesday on MASL TV with the homeboy, Alex Bostjuvansky.
I can't wait to see how you're going to incorporate his name into another activity. Holloman to Dantas. Dantas back out to Waltman. Waltman finding Megson. Trying to find Megson, rather. That ball comes back to Ontario. Cisse on the restart. Pacheco with a little bit of space. Finds Mansoret. Mansoret looking. Out to Stinson. Stinson to Palmer. Palmer with a shot into the netting. And we are under a minute to go here in the first quarter at Toyota Arena. Folks, if you're just joining us right now, the Ontario Fury find themselves in a hole, down 2-0 to the visiting Tacoma Stars. Canale with Pittman on him. Out to Pereira. Pereira to Canale. And it looked like it was blocked by Uzi Tayou. And there's Mansoret. That kid's got wheels on him.
Oh, we've got a player
we have a man
absolutely
down.
Cleaned out mid-pitch right now.
And that looks like it's Justin Stinson.
Stinson took one to the face there and was lying on the ground holding his nose for a minute or two.
He's a tough kid. They make him tough in Missouri, the show me state. Stinson from St. Charles. In fact, the same town that has the St. Louis ambush. We've said it many a time, but again, I have to say it because it's impressive. Spent some time in his youth with the West Ham Academy. Stinson, the second leading scorer on the Ontario Fury.
Up the Hammers.
Oh, that's big words coming from a Gunner.
Hey, when it comes to Justin Stinson, I'll support the Hammers. But not my London team. Me and Jimmy Nordberg going for that Arsenal.
Well, don't forget Panda. I'm going to mention her name because we miss her today in Toyota Arena. I'm glad we had that recording of her. Pereira on the restart. Pereira finds Ramos. Out to Jones. Jones utilizing the boards, but Topete there to pick things up off of. He hits it off the boards, Jones. And it's Aguirre. Aguirre putting a little pressure on Pereira. Aguirre in his first season with the Ontario Fury. How did Pereira get out of that one?
I tell you, in the span of about 10 seconds there, Pereira showed off both pace and power.
And that is the end of the first quarter here in Toyota Arena. The Tacoma Stars up 2-0 on the home team Ontario Fury.
Folks, we'd like to give a quick shout out to the official podcast of Your Ontario Fury, Striking Fury, starring none other than Philly, the Doctor, and the Panda, coming to you with new episodes each week. Check it out on all of your podcast platforms.
What's going on, Fury faithful? Welcome to Striking Fury, the official podcast for the Ontario Fury. I am one half of the husband and wife faction that is here to bring to you the Ontario Fury action. The self-proclaimed beast from the East, I am Christian Philly Filament.
And always fine with a glass of wine, I am the better half of this dynamic duo. I am Amanda, the Panda Filament.
Wine and the better half. You've really outdone yourself today, Panda.
That's right, and we are your Ontario Fury podcast.
Everybody stand, everybody wave your hands. We the seventh man, Ontario fans. Say it loudly, say it proudly. Ontario, what? Ontario.
Society has an obligation to help others when others are struggling. Families can become distressed because they lose their father. Now a mother's forced to raise their 3 children. How does she get a job? How does she create the means to take care of her kids?
For nearly 30 years, National Core and Hope Through Housing have changed the lives of hundreds of thousands of individuals, providing housing, offering hope, transforming communities. National Core and Hope Through Housing, building the future of community.
Available interior work surface to work it out up front, plus the capability of available Pro Power on board to work it out in back. Tough this smart can only be called F-150. Introducing the all-new 2021 Ford F-150.
Welcome back to Toyota Arena, folks. We want to thank you for joining us on MASL TV. We have a action-packed Sunday in the MASL. This is the second out of 3 games within the MASL. Later on today, Utica City FC is going to square off against the San Diego Sockers at Pechanga Arena.
We'd like to thank everybody for choosing MASL over playoff NFL today. Philly, I know you had to sell some of those tickets to today's game. I know there's part of you that's got to be a little hurt about that, amigo.
Nah, there's no place I'd rather be. I love the indoor game. It surpasses American football as far as I'm concerned. I don't just say this is the best game in North America for no reason.
Well, folks, we'd like to remind you that MASL Primetime is the home for the best highlights, interview, and action from the MASL each week. Catch the latest episode each week on MASL TV with none other than Alex Boschuvansky.
Coming into the second quarter, we see the Tacoma Stars with the advantage on shots. Danny Waltman's been keeping Tacoma in the game with 3 saves. And, of course, we've got goals by Megson and Canale. That is how we find ourselves in the situation that we do at the start of this second quarter. And there's Frank Tayou. He's being held, and I mean held, by Adam West. Pacheco trying to get by Minetti. Pacheco out to Palmer. Palmer to Gonzalez. Gonzalez back to Pacheco. And that seems to be people's strategies. Just hang on to the king. Hang on for dear life. If he can't wield his mighty scepter, there's nothing that he's going to be able to do. But that's certainly going to open things up for other players. That's why we got people like Justin Stinson with 12 goals on the season. That's why George De Leon's got 6 on the year. They need to step up when Frank's getting held down.
Yeah, last year it was double team Frank. This year it's just put one man on Frank and have him bear hug him, it seems.
And that's exactly what it looked like it was been done by Adam West. Logan Jones has been playing him the same way. Holloman heads it off to Megson. Megson back to Debray.
If Clayson had just seen it a little sooner there, he had Nestor Gonzalez wide open for the Hail Mary downfield.
You mean Nestor Hernandez?
Sorry. Yes.
You're good, friend. You're good. Waltman. DeLima out to Cisse.
Nestor, someone whose name we haven't really been saying a whole lot this year, of course. He finally got his first goal in the loss versus San Diego last game.
Yep, he broke the ice wearing that black Superman Under Armour. The fans in the stands are currently wishing that they could see more of the Superman. Tayou with Holloman on him. That is a different defender on Tayou. He tried to find Stinson, but that ball gets intercepted by Ramos. Ramos getting by the king. Off to DeLuna. And that ball comes out of play.
Hit the board first, so it will just be a regular kick in from beyond the corner there.
DeLuna in his 3rd season from Tacoma, another Olympic College alum. Got a couple of these Olympic College players on the Tacoma Stars. On the restart. Dantas with a shot saved by Clayson. Heavy shot by the Brazilian. Brazilian to the Brazilian. Both Vinny and Clayson are Brazilian. Clayson, last season's goalkeeper of the year, splitting time with Chris Toth. And in fact, Chris Toth split time with another keeper that's on the turf today, and that's, of course, Danny Waltman. Stinson to Topete. Topete out to Uzi. Uzi, who headed in his first goal of the season on Wednesday against San Diego.
Assisted by his brother.
Tayou on Tayou. There's that law firm reference again. Stinson to Pittman. Headed out by Logan Jones. And that is Canale with some fancy footwork. Minetti to Jones. Jones. Oh, and there's Stinson there to break things up. Had it landed in front of Canale, that we could have seen 3 goals for Tacoma.
Looks like we're going to get ourselves the top of the arc restart as that ball goes directly out of play, but let's be honest, Stinson saved a goal right there. Almost another easy tap in for Toyota. The Fury have got to make it harder and give Toyota some more difficult looks here, Philly.
Pereira to Dantas, saved by DeLima. Stinson heads it to himself. He has Mansoret running forward. Nowhere to go, out off of the boards to Mansoret. Mansoret try to get by Dantas and Pereira. Whistle going to be on Abdul. The young man from England, they call him London.
It looked like Mansoret was the one getting held back there, and yet he gets whistled for the foul.
Intercepted by Palmer. Back out to DeLima. Oh, and it's going to be a foul on Palmer. Tacoma ball. Palmer did not like that. Canale still down.
It did
take a look at that.
You can see the replay that he got the ball there first. As we still have Canale down on the pitch here as we see the play come down here across the corner. Berto gets the ball. Doesn't really appear to get much of the player at all. Definitely looks like he kind of tripped and fell into the boards, but he's certainly selling it. Still down on the pitch right now.
And we have the trainer for the Tacoma Stars coming out. It looks like that is Andrew Carlson. checking to see if his player's okay. We got a break in the action, 11 minutes and 22 seconds here in the second quarter. If you're just joining us now, Tacoma up 2-0 on the hometown Ontario Fury.
Folks, if you're looking to buy a home here in the Ontario area and move out to this beautiful weather, we'd like to remind you of Frontier Communities. Your hometown builder is a proud sponsor of the Ontario Fury. We don't just build homes, we build communities for generations to live, enjoy, and love. Your dream home is our mission every step of the way. Learn more at fhcommunities.com.
When you're looking around the country and you're seeing the weather reports and you're seeing all the snow, I got a call from my mom and dad in New York. They had to shovel. They never shovel. You only hope to be in 72-degree weather. We're certainly fortunate here with the weather in Southern California.
My shovel only sees the rose garden.
I don't even have rain boots.
Lovely 75 degrees in Southern California today.
And it looks like Pereira's going to allow Caceres or West with off the boards. Pereira to Mexon. He has a shot. Saved by DeLima. DeLima getting a good bit of paw on that
ball all the way through, able to get double palms to it.
He's certainly been the busier keeper in the second quarter. Megson trying to get by Aguirre. Aguirre to Palmer. Cisse trying to lock in with Nestor. That ball gets intercepted by Tacoma. It's Pereira out to Ramos. Ramos is a dangerous player. 1v1 at Gonzalez. Shot! Gonzalez saved by DeLima. Been saying that an awful lot here in these past couple of minutes. Uzi there to clean it up. Dantas to Holloman. He's got Ramos open to the left. Pass out just above the crossbar.
Oh my goodness, the second wide open miss for Tacoma of this first half.
I mean, they've gotten close. It could have easily been 4-0 at this point.
Absolutely. The Fury are quite lucky to be only looking up 2 goals at the moment.
Tayou out to DeLima. DeLima trying to find Frank. You can see he's looking for him. Jones holding the king back and picks his pocket clean. De Leon to Uzi. Under 10 to go here in the second quarter. Topete trying to find Uzi, but ball gets intercepted by Ramos. Manini back to Ramos.
The passing is just off today for Ontario. They are not finding their mark.
And that ball comes out of play.
The arc restart, though, as that ball goes directly out of play, way overhit.
Doctor, what are your thoughts on this opening quarter and change thus far?
It definitely feels a little disjointed for the Fury.
Tayou with a shot, blocked by the wall. Pacheco.
Tacoma having a clear game plan that has certainly been effective, although a little bit of execution away from a massive lead. But once again, we see the Fury just unable to connect on passing.
Foul on Tacoma. Well, there's that, and one of the keys to your game earlier on, you were talking about Danny Waltman. Danny Waltman made a couple of great saves, actually more than a couple of great saves in the opening frame.
Absolutely. Ontario dismayed by that Rapunzelian goal repellent that is those beautiful locks of Danny Waltman. I don't blame them for being mesmerized, but they got to start looking through to the back of the net, Philly.
I didn't realize you were an English major, Doctor. You are quite the poet laureate. Tayou to Izzy. Izzy, veteran of this team, the longest reigning member of Ontario. Passes it out to Stinson. Out to Palmer. Palmer to Frank.
You know, we're seeing something here we saw versus San Diego. The Fury keeping the majority of their offensive players out a little bit high, trying to draw the defense out. And Tacoma, as of yet, is not biting.
No, their game plan is working. Working quite well. Flustering the Fury. Backheel pass. Palmer with a shot. Saved by Waltman.
Waltman saw that one coming a mile away. Perfect positioning. Had all the time and space to make that save.
The inaugural MASL All-Star Game MVP. Again, you're not going to sneak him by. Topete. Good pressure by Tacoma. Palmer with Megson in front of him. Out to Pittman. Pittman to Stinson. Sees Topete, but Corey Keats is there playing really good defense. The IUPUI Jaguar. Again, the first goal scorer in the MASL All-Star Game. I keep mentioning this because I'm hoping we get to see another All-Star Game sometime soon. Stinson with a shot off of the boards. Keats. Oh! Waltman tried to clear it, and we got a goal! Johnny Topete! Boom! We got a goal! click, 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 boom! Goal for Topete. Let's take a
toe
look.
poke from Topete. Oh, nothing Waltman can do about this as he just...
No, he did not see Topete coming. He tried to clear it. Topete in the right place at the right time. Fury cut the lead in half. 2-1 now here in Toyota Arena.
Waltman provides the power. Topete finds the back of the net.
And Topete has done that a few times this season. In fact, this will have been his 5th time that he's found the back of the net this season.
Not too bad. That puts him in 5th place for the Fury for scoring on the year. Great work by the defender once again. Looks like Tacoma's taken themselves a timeout. And with that, folks, we're going to catch a quick commercial break. We'll catch you in just a moment after some messages powered by Archibald's. Folks, we'd like to remind you that when it comes to Inland Empire sports, the conversation starts and stops with Fox Sports AM 1350. Home of Coach B and Eternal, heard every Saturday morning from 9 a.m. onward on the IE Sportsnet. Catch AM Fox 1350 for all your MASL recap action for your Ontario Fury.
Yeah, and it's not just Striking Fury where you can hear Fury interviews. Obviously, what you just called out, you can listen to some great Fury interviews on Fox Sports. AM 1350. Cisse getting by Pereira. The former LA Galaxy man with a shot. Just misses. Cisse came close to that one. Danny Waltman thanking the boards. Oh, and that's a knockdown. Foul on Pereira. And Cisse...
Oh, it looks like he fell on his hand there as he went down. He's trying to shake it off. Just a common foul. We'll get a restart here.
Good display of sportsmanship. Vinny Dantas helping Israel Cisse up. You like to see that. Aguirre with nowhere to go, out crossing the midfield to Uzi Tayou. Gonçalves down low to Hernandez. Nestor. Good defense by Debray Holloman. And it looks like the foul's going to be on Debray. We talked about his father, L.B. LeBaron. His father, a legend in this game, star with the Wichita Wings, even coached the Wichita Wings. He is back in his neck of the woods coaching as well. We miss LB. If you can hear us, we certainly miss you, and I know you miss us, and I know you miss this California sunshine. Tayou. Out to De Leon. De Leon out to Gonçalves. Trying to get by Dantas.
You know, speaking of players with legendary fathers, a lot of people wondering why Chris Toth didn't get the start today. Chris picked up a knock to the nose in that last game versus San Diego. He was bleeding pretty hard. He's got some nose fractures in the past. So Coach Corey Murray today decided to be a good idea to give him a break as Clayson gets the start.
And we had a bullet of a shot by Topete, but Danny Waltman was there to thwart that effort. Thwartman lets one go. Waltman lets one go to Pereira. Aguirre and Megson battle on the boards. And it's going to be a whistle on Megson.
Look at this Waltman save here. Just an absolute rocket of a shot. Waltman, calm as you like.
De Leon banged it off the boards. Landed directly in front of Topete. And Topete, you don't get a better look than that. And he fired a rocket. But Waltman was there to act as a wall. Tayou out to Stinson. Stinson on Keats. Action on the boards. Logan Jones there. Off of the boards, intercepted by the Fury. It's Cisse to Stinson. Stinson out to Palmer. Palmer with some space. He has a shot. Saved by Waltman. And that's going to be a foul. And it's a Smurf. Let's take a look at the replay.
Smurf sighting here as ball bounces out and bumbles to mid-pitch. Tries to recycle back. Berto with the shot. What a save by Waltman. And yeah, he got the ball initially. It's just on the follow-through, though. He cleans out the Tacoma player and finds himself heading to the sin bin for the first power play opportunity for Tacoma. Philly, power plays have not looked good as far as kills for the Fury so far this year.
No, they upped their percentage, though. To start against San Diego, they were at a 54% penalty kill. That is now currently sitting at 57%. But they certainly find themselves in a disadvantage having the captain in the sin bin with the first Smurf sighting of the day, a blue card.
Well, we mentioned it in our keys to the game. Performance versus the extra man has been our Achilles heel so far. Can the Fury come out and stop this first early power play?
They're going to need to if they want to stay within this game. Caceres to Pereira. Pereira back out to Caceres. There's a shot, saved by DeLima. Shot taken by number 21, Adam West. And don't worry, you won't get any funny Batman references out of me. Off of the boards, Tayou. And we have a whistle.
Looks like the foul is going to be called against Alex Caceres. The Fury with a chance here for a shorthanded opportunity.
They don't have very many shorthanded goals on the season. Tacoma packing them down low. Frank tried to thread the needle. Oh, an attempt by Pacheco. Oh, it deflected into the hands of Waltman. We're approaching 1:06 left to go in the power play. Dantas backheels it to Caceres. Caceres out to Pereira. Pereira to West. West out to Pereira. West with a shot, saved by DeLima. 46 seconds left to go here in the power play. Pereira to Dantas. West with a shot off of the boards. Ramos with a shot well over the crossbar. He had some hustle behind that muscle. Tayou trying to get it away from West, and that's going to be a whistle. Foul on Uzi. 32 seconds left to go here in the power play. Fury doing a good job thus far in this penalty kill.
Uzi picking up his second of the game to join Justin Stinson in the double-digit camp.
Ramos to Dantas. Shot off of the boards. Hernandez. Out to Topete. Tried to thread it into Uzi. And we have a counter. A 2-on-1. Hernandez. Shot. Oh, just deflected off.
What a save by Danny Waltman. Able to just get enough of a boot to stop the shorthanded
Under
goal.
10 seconds to go in the power play. The Fury will kill it.
Danny, let down your hair. My goodness.
Gonsalves to Pacheco. Cisse out of the box. Even man advantage, even strength. Izzy trying to get by Ramos. And there is Pereira. Tacoma on the counter. Ramos. Out to number 2, Chase Hansen. Megson. Out to Holloman. Holloman to Keats. Keats finding Megson. Off of the boards. Pacheco there. That was close.
Oh, Pacheco being absolutely tackled to the ground right there.
Restart to the Fury.
Didn't know Alex Megson doubled as a linebacker.
Well, they call him the elegant assassin for a reason.
Well, that lacked neither the subtlety or the elegance.
Well, it looked like an assassination, let's put it that way. Cisse to Stinson. Megson there again. Megson's been everywhere.
Stinson held back on the play. Looks like the whistle's going to go back out to mid-pitch for the common foul restart going Ontario Fury's direction.
2 minutes and 52 seconds left to go here in the second quarter. The Fury cut the lead in half with a goal by Johnny Topete. Stinson with a shot off of the boards. Frank making a run for it. Topete finds Stinson. Stinger trying to get himself some space. To Frank. Frank being held by Holloman. Gotta take a closer look at that. Frank's being hugged every time he's there. There's a shot by Topete. Just misses to the right. Topete knocking on that door. I think he's got the most shots out of anybody on the Fury thus far.
The call is going to go Fury's direction. Looks like they're whistling a handball there.
Keats did not like that call.
He is not amused.
Topete on the restart.
Fury trying to decide their line, missed the opportunity for the quick restart there. Finally have 5 men out on the turf.
We'll see what Topete decides to do. Sees Frank down in the box with DeBray Holloman. Alex Caceres in front of him. Back heels it to Stinson. Stinson with Keats on him. Stinson out to Gonçalves. Gonçalves, one of the leading assist men for the Ontario Fury this season, to De Leon. Good defense by Caceres. Off of the boards to Stinson. Battle between him and Keats. Stinson down low to Frank. Frank some space. De Leon with a shot off of the boards. Minetti there to clean it up. Keats has it. And that is DeLuna.
The Fury just looking so casual on the offensive end, not having that little bit of scramble and fight to get around the player.
And there's a tussle between Keats and Frank. That looks like the call's going to go against Keats.
Yeah, Frank is certainly getting frustrated. You can see in his body language, they are grabbing him left and right, and he's getting angry, which typically goes one of two directions, either into the back of the net or into the sin bin for Frank.
Gonçalves to Pacheco. Pacheco into traffic, try to find Gonçalves. Pereira there to pick his pocket. Pereira with Gonçalves. Intercepted. It's a little too much. Berto passing it out. Caceres there. Pereira to Dantas. Dantas, good defense by Stinson. Minute 10 to go here in the half. Holloman off of the boards to Pereira. Pereira with Gonçalves on him. He finds some space. He takes a shot. We're under a minute to go. And the restart's going to come back to the Fury. And we hear John Spire, our public address announcer, thanking the crowd. DeLima. That ball comes out of play. 52 and a half seconds to go here in the second quarter. Tacoma up 2-1 on the Ontario Fury.
John Spire, regretfully a 49er fan. Not your favorite person today, Phil.
Oh, actually, he's a huge Seahawks fan. You walk into his house, you'd swear he was from Seattle.
Wow, was he just antagonizing you with that jersey he showed up in today?
Probably. He likes to antagonize me. I love John Spire.
Great dude.
Great guy. Mansoret. This kid's got wheels on him.
Look at the speed.
Oh, the carpet comes up. Less than 30 seconds to go. Referee there to clean up the carpet. Pittman to Uzi. Can the Fury get a shot off before this quarter ends?
20 seconds.
Less than 20 to go. Frank off of the boards. Pittman tries to head one in. Pittman there again. Pittman. Travis Pittman. Boom. We got a goal by Travis Pittman. That is just the goal that the Fury needed to get back into the game. Doctor, give me some news.
Travis Pittman with his first goal of the season for the Ontario Fury, able to kick that ball right out of the oncoming hands of Danny Waldman, collects his own rebound off the far post and finds the back of the net. We are all knotted up at 2. What a huge goal to swing the momentum going into the half.
And he just so nonchalantly, he's like, I worked for that. That's my goal. He opens up his scoring account here in Ontario, and it couldn't have come at a better time. It is 2-2 in Toyota Arena.
Great to see Travis Pittman starting his scoring account for the Ontario Fury. He's going to have to fill those Willie Spur-sized shoes over the course of the next 6 weeks here.
Less than 10 to go. DeLima holding the ball. And that looks like that's going to be the end of the half. Fury hang on, and despite being down 2 goals in the first quarter, the Fury ferociously fight back. Now we got a 2-2 ball game, Doctor.
Absolutely huge goal there in the waning seconds of this half in order to bring us knotted at 2-2. And with that, folks, we'll be back for you right after this half to get ready for some hot third quarter MASL action.
interior work surface to work it out up front, plus the capability of available Pro Power on board to work it out in back. Tough this smart can only be called F-150. Introducing the all-new 2021 Ford F-150.
We can talk about vaccine hesitancy.
There is a subcategory that is afraid about the speed at which the vaccine was developed. The pioneers are just amazing, incredible individuals. I mean, we're standing on the work that they did.
It really wasn't rushed through. It's extremely difficult to predict who's going to die from COVID and who's not going to die from it.
Society has an obligation to help others when others are struggling. Families can become distressed because they lose their father. Now a mother's forced to raise their 3 children. How does she get a job? How does she create the means to take care of her kids?
For nearly 30 years, National Core and Hope Through Housing have changed the lives of hundreds of thousands of individuals, providing housing, offering hope, transforming communities. National Core and Hope Through Housing, building the future of community.
Shot the goal! Go! Go! The big man! Oh, it's pretty! It's so pretty!
The magical 400-point mark is finally reached and surpassed. The Comets take it downtown, and Chihuahua plays its first home game in the MASL. All this and more coming right up. And this is MASL Prime Time. What's up, everyone? I'm Alex Bastiavansky. Thank you so much for taking the time to tune in today. And, all season long, we've been talking about the chase for 400. Ontario's Frank Tayou and Kansas City's Leo Gibson have been duking it out like a couple of prize fighters in their quest to become the first player to hit 400 MASL regular season points. Now, it was within reach for both players heading into week 8 of play. King Frank sat just a single point away as the Fury traveled to Baltimore to take on the Blast. Here's how they sat coming into week 8. Leo was 4 points away, Frank just 1. And with the Fury leading 3-2 in the second quarter, history is made.
Of knowing when to step up in front of them as well.
Quick turn, and there it is. A shot and a goal. Frank Tayou, point number 400 in his career. Goal number 11 on the season. And Ontario leads at 4-2.
By Tayou. Tayou with a shot. Boom! Golazo!
Frank Tayou, point number 400 in his career.
All right, we are back for the start of the third quarter at Toyota Arena. Folks, if you're just joining us right now, the score line is even at 2-2. It was Tacoma that started things out hot within the first quarter with goals by Megson and Canali. But it was the Fury that clawed back into this game with goals by Johnny Topete and Travis Pittman. So we're about to start this third quarter with both teams tied. And the Fury, within the second quarter, really started hammering home the shots. They had 9-6 on Tacoma. And the busier keeper throughout this game thus far has been Danny Waltman, making 8 tremendous saves. But Clayson DeLima, he himself too has made 7 great saves. And we are underway at Toyota Arena. Thought we would be down, no pitch side with Pando. We thought we were going to go to the doctor's domain with head coach Corey Murray, assistant coach Corey Murray. But unfortunately that could not happen. The doctor will be joining us back in the booth momentarily. And that is Pacheco to Tayou, intercepted by Caceres, foul on Uzi. You know, one thing that we saw at halftime, just a couple of the groups, couple of the kids who perhaps some future indoor MASL players, perhaps some MLS players, wanted to give a moment to recognize AYSO Region 65, the Aqua Rockets, Blue Bombers, the Blue Crush, the Bolts, Empire Soccer, Fireballs, of course the Fury, the Golden Knights, the Lightning Bolts, the Lime Stripes, Red Riots, Spartans, Stingers, Stinging Hornets, White Lightning, Rancho Cucamonga Flamers, and the Diamondback Rattlesnakes. Always fun to see the young kids out there performing at halftime. Again, you never know in the next future Hall of Famer where they're going to come from. See Michael Ramos getting by Pacheco in the midfield. Pacheco held back Ramos. Foul's going to be against Jesus. He did not like that call. Restart coming back to Tacoma. And there is Caceres. Caceres, again, he once called Ontario Fury home. Finding a place for himself, though, in Tacoma, in the Pacific Northwest. Caceres. Off of the boards to Dantas. Dantas off the boards, trying to find Pereira. Uzi Tayou there to kick it out of play. We said that Nick Pereira played a season in Ontario, and that is true. And he had quite a successful one, having scored 17 goals and 16 assists. Guy's been dynamite everywhere he's gone and everywhere he's played. It's Caceres on the restart. No doubt passing it to Pereira. Oh, to Dantas, my mistake. There's a shot just wide. Close call. Very close call. Tacoma knocking on the door there. Berto playing it on. Caceres. Looking to find Pereira. Pereira told him to hold back. Jones to Keats. Keats off of the boards, back to Jones. Keats down off of the boards to Pereira. Pereira trying to look for Megson. Ball back into the hands of DeLima. DeLima out to Frank Tayou. Tayou been quiet thus far, but mainly because he's been held in place, literally, by the Tacoma defense. Again, congratulations to Frank. He was the first player within the modern MASL era to surpass the 400-point mark. Leo Gibson followed him a day after. And we are fortunate to have such legends playing in this game, in this league, right now. Travis Pittman scored a goal earlier on in the game. Uses the boards to find Frank. Frank with some space. Shot! Boom! We got a goal! Click, click, click! Boom! George De Leon! Normally I would refer to the doctor on the replay, but it's just me. We take a look at Frank, trying to find himself some space. Easily turning around and finding George De Leon. George De Leon, his third goal in 2 games. George De Leon playing fantastic for the Ontario Fury. And that was George's 7th goal of the season. And I'd like to welcome back. You know, we thought we would have the introduction of the doctor's domain because we couldn't have pitch side with Panda. But welcome back, Doc. As Bugs Bunny would say, what's up?
Well, I got stuck on the wrong side of the turf there, Philly, and then could not use the elevator, so I just ran across the stadium and up 4 flights of stairs.
I love Toyota Arena, but I'll tell you, you can literally run up the stairs faster than what that elevator takes.
Sorry, we could not get an interview with Coach Corey Murray there, just running into some technical difficulties there at the half, but...
he's holding off for Panda.
Did get a chance to talk with Corey about what he thought about the first half.
Let's get the insight.
He really feels like the boys need to make some more movement off the ball. Just the energy a little bit too static for him.
Well, whatever he said clearly worked because the Fury find themselves in the lead for the first time in the game today.
Gonna have to find out how on the replay. I was in a stairwell.
It was Frank had the ball, turned around, and found George De Leon rushing towards Waldman. De Leon chips it in. That's how we have our goal. Oh! Clayson coming out.
Great work by Clayson to read the play and get across the yellow line to clear that out.
Yeah, and as we were saying, Clayson, 7 saves in the first half. Doctor, getting yourself a bit of exercise running up those stairs, huh?
Not one of my favorite things to do.
There's a shot. Blocked. Stinson heads it into the netting. Oh, Hernandez wants that one back. Good block. Very good block by Logan Jones. Goalkeeper distribution for Danny Waltman. Lets it fly to Vinny Dantas. Vinny back to Pereira. Pereira trying to get by Berto. He backheels it. Intercepted. Oh, and it's Stinson. Oh! And that's a whistle. Smurf sighting. We've got a Smurf sighting, no doubt about that. Blue card on Chase Hansen for tripping Justin Stinson.
That would be last man. Clear denial of a goal-scoring opportunity here. Stinson is wide open on net. That's going to be a penalty shot for the Fury.
And it's Frank Tayou. Tayou versus Waltman. Fury are going to have the power play as Hansen's in the sin bin. Buckle up, folks. The king of goal scoring versus one of the kings of defensive stops. Let's see what happens here. Waiting on that whistle. Can Frank finally end his scoring drought here in Toyota Arena? Frank currently sitting on 13 goals and 4 assists on the season. Frank with a shot, takes it, boom, golazo! El Rey, the king himself, scoring. That was a mighty scepter he wielded. Doctor, give us the news.
Well, the Fury were hoping for the shortest power play they could possibly have, and by golly, they've got it, as Big Frank finds the back of the net for his 14th goal of the season.
Let's take a look. It's just him and Waltman. Last one to the right of Danny Waltman. Danny Waltman having a fine outing thus far this afternoon, but not enough to stop the king. The king finally ascends to his throne today in Toyota Arena. 4-2, Ontario. And you hear the Ontario Fury 7th Man song, sung by none other than Travis Pennick. If you remember boy bands from back in the 90s, O-Town. That's the man who sings the Ontario Fury song. And there's a whistle on the turf. Foul was on. Well, on, not necessarily on, but it was Izzy that got fouled. Pacheco crossing midfield. And we're starting to hear something in Toyota Arena recently that we haven't really heard much. We're starting to hear supporters. We're starting to hear drums. We're hearing a kick. We're hearing a snare. Starting to feel, like la bandas in the house.
Yeah, we got some rampique, some murga going on there in the end of the stadium. I love it. Everything about supporter culture with regards to Los Angeles soccer is a beautiful thing. Love seeing the Inland Empire catch the supporter fury.
Of course, and it certainly changes the complexion of the atmosphere in Toyota Arena. It's a pretty good crowd. We only see a portion of it, but I'd probably venture to say this is the best crowd Fury have had all season.
And folks, just to let you know, we are being simulcast en Espanol for those of you who habla de Espanol, and you can always pay attention to our simulcast as well too here on MASL TV for those of you looking for a Spanish broadcast. Jose Duran with the call for Fury en Espanol.
Berto to Mansoret. He's being defended by Holloman. Holloman doing a good job blocking London from getting in. Pacheco with a shot. Oh, that was a hard shot. Just misses the back of the net, just above the crossbar. Caceres to Waltman. Walton cleaned things up. George De Leon had a heck of a goal not too long ago.
Well, speaking of games being broadcast in alternative languages, Philly, sounds like you and I are going to be heading south of the border down to the Tijuanense side stadium in order to call the game in English.
That certainly would be fun. Into the game we see Jeff Bader. Jeff Bader played on the inaugural Fury roster with Israel Cisse.
Ooh, and Travis Pittman down with what appears to be a right knee injury as he is just able to get up and head to the bench. He is certainly nursing that right side.
Hopefully it's just a knock. The Fury need him. And there's Frank open. Frank with a shot. Oh! Just hits the post to Uzi. Uzi trying to find some space. De Leon into the netting. Frank nearly had his second goal, and you can see the frustration on the King's face as he lifts his jersey above his head. He hits that with so much power. Just rattled. Just missed.
Yeah, George De Leon just his timing a little bit off, anticipating the ball a little bit sooner and got under it too much there.
Dantas. Pereira's calling for it. Gonçalves doing a good job on Dantas. There's a foot race between Berto and Pereira.
Back to the conversation, Philly. We're heading down to Corner Sports Park. This is going to be your first ever trip south of the border, amigo.
Yeah, I mean, I'm embarrassed to admit that I've never been to Mexico. I have stepped foot on every single continent other than Antarctica, though, but certainly looking forward to that trip down to Chihuahua.
Well, certainly.
Chihuahua just getting their first regulation win the other day against the Milwaukee Wave.
Man, it's been tough going for them in Corner Sports Park. They put in some fantastic performances. A goal in the final half second of the game versus San Diego, but great to see them get their first W.
Miniti, Nestor Hernandez.
Oh, handball.
8 minutes and 21 to go. The Fury claw back from being down 2-0 with 4 straight goals.
As you can see on the replay there, Miniti clearly slapping the ball back down to the turf. Great opportunity here for the Fury to extend that lead.
Thiago on the restart to Stinson. Oh, Stinson didn't get enough on it. And there's Miniti to clear it up. Ball out to Clayson.
Oh, that's normally a place in which you would absolutely expect Stinson to bury it from. Just missed it.
Stinson had that offensive explosion when he was in Baltimore, waiting for some more of that stinger magic. And there was some of it, and he got banged up on whistle on Tacoma.
Yeah, it looks like he took a little knock from Megson there. Casual foul. Going to be a restart about 6 feet beyond the yellow for the Fury.
Izzy to Uzi. He's got Keats on him. Megson pressuring Cisse. Cisse out to DeLima. DeLima coming well out of his position. Trying to dump it down low to Frank. Logan Jones there. Again, got to give credit to Logan Jones. Playing really good today. He is a rookie. Not playing like a rookie today. Frank with some space. Frank off of the boards. Picked up by Hansen, but it's taken away by Stinson.
Yeah, we're without some regular faces on this Tacoma Stars lineup today. Late scratches, Philip Lund, Eddie Na, amongst others. Players we were expecting to get some run out here today, Philly.
Eddie Na he played for the Guam national team. He's a young man we were looking forward to see. Philip Lund as well, spent some time with the Seattle Sounders. Obviously, we got to reference the Cox brothers, also very good players. But Tacoma's still hanging in there at 4-2, still plenty of time to go. Anything could happen in this crazy indoor game that we all know and love. DeLima crosses the midfield.
You have to wonder if Tacoma is starting to see the writing on the wall this season and really giving those rookies a look with an eye towards next season.
Still plenty of time for them to rebound. They've only played 7 games. That's 2 fewer than what most teams in this league have played thus far.
Certainly not over, especially in the world of indoor soccer.
We certainly know that. De Leon to Topete. Topete to Pacheco. And trying to find Frank.
As
Frank
we
being
saw
marked.
last season, all you need to do is punch that ticket to the playoffs, and you never know what can happen.
Different playoff format, though, this year. Not everybody gets in like they did last season. Tayou. Foul on Hansen.
Held up there, clearly pushing Frank into the boards. Frank able to keep his feet. Otherwise, lucky there for Mr. Logan Jones. He might be heading to the sin bin.
You can see it in Frank's face. He's hungry for that goal. He wants that opportunity back.
After
Pacheco.
having just gone ding-dong off the post on his last shot, you know he's feeling it.
We just caught word that the Rams have gone up on the Niners. For those of you who care about those kinds of things.
Well, congratulations to Amanda the Panda Philemon in the running to folks to be your NFL Fan of the Year, which, if memory serves me correct, means you and the missus would get Super Bowl tickets for life.
I mean, that's what they say. I don't need it for life. I just know we're going for free at SoFi later on this year. Actually, in a couple of weeks. De Leon. Oh, Minetti. De Leon. Keats there. Minetti on it still. Passes it out to Jones. Off of the boards.
And with that, folks, we're going to have ourselves a media timeout. We're going to go ahead and take a pause here with 5 minutes and 53 seconds left. We'll be right back after these messages, folks.
Everybody clap. We the seventh man, Ontario fans. Say it loudly, say it proudly. Ontario, what? Ontario.
Society has an obligation to help others when others are struggling. Families can become distressed because they lose their father. Now a mother's forced to raise their 3 children. How does she get a job? How does she create the means to take care of her kids?
For nearly 30 years, National Core and Hope Through Housing have changed the lives of hundreds of thousands of individuals, providing housing, offering hope, transforming communities. National Core and Hope Through Housing, building the future of community.
Available interior work surface to work it out up front. Plus the capability of available Pro Power on board to work it out in back. Tough this smart can only be called F-150. Introducing the all-new 2021 Ford F-150.
We can talk about vaccine hesitancy.
There is a subcategory that is afraid about the speed at which the vaccine was developed. The pioneers are just amazing, incredible individuals. I mean, we're standing on the work that they did.
It really wasn't rushed through. It's extremely difficult to predict who's going to die from COVID and who's not going to die from it.
Folks, we'd like to give a shout out to everyone over at Frontier Communities. Frontier Communities, your home builder.
Oh,
as a shot goes
shot
in and
by
a goal.
Ramos off the hands of Clayson DeLima. And Mike Ramos chips into that Fury lead. Number 25 with his 6th goal of the season. And that was Dantas. Look at that shot, the windup. Clayson got some hand on it. Little bit of paw, but not enough to make that save, and the lead is now 4-3. Sorry to cut into your read, Doctor.
Roberto Palmer there, who was trying to clear the ball. Before I was so rudely interrupted by Tacoma scoring goals there, we'd like to give a shout out to the folks at Frontier Communities, your home builder and proud sponsor of the Ontario Fury. They don't just build homes, they build communities for generations to live, enjoy, and love. Your dream home is available every step of the way. Learn more at fhcommunities.com.
I like how you put so rudely interrupted by Tacoma. Mike Ramos getting himself back into the scoring column. Last season, he managed to score 8 goals. We know Mike Ramos is a dangerous player, and that was a display as to why. There's a shot by Stinson into the netting. Distribution, goalkeeper distribution back to Danny Waltman. Look, folks, we thought this was going to be a game, and it certainly is. 4-3 with 5 minutes and 34 seconds left to go here in the third quarter at Toyota Arena.
Tacoma able to turn the tables on what was 4 unanswered goals by the Fury. Finally, a rebuttal from Tacoma, and we got ourselves a ball game.
Mike Ramos certainly had a lot of hustle behind his muscle. That was a heck of a shot.
We got ourselves a top-of-the-arc restart on a clearance straight out into the customers, Philly.
Straight out in the customers. Interesting fact, Mike Ramos, Puerto Rican national team in 2016. Pereira to Dantas, shot, he's got himself a goal. And all of a sudden, the Fury lose that lead. It is 4-4 here in Toyota Arena. Tacoma very much into this game.
Certainly a shot we are going to see on MASL Primetime later this week. We'd like to give a shout out, folks. MASL Primetime is the home for the best highlights, interviews, and action from the MASL each week. Catch the latest episode each Wednesday on MASL TV with Alex Bostjuvanski. Philly, you're familiar with that 90s classic film about a wayward bowler?
The dude abides.
That would be, of course, the Big Lebowski. We're talking about our boy, though, the Big Boss Juvansky, who's going to be calling that one later this week on MASL Primetime.
Bravo. That was well played. You certainly caught me on that one. Vinny Dantas' 5th goal of the season ties the game at 4-4. Topete in traffic. It's taken by Megson. Megson out, trying to find Corey Keats. George DeLeon there to break it up, and that ball comes out of play.
As the ball goes out of play, folks, we'd like to remind you to get the latest news on the MASL and your favorite teams by following MASL Soccer on Facebook and Instagram and MASL Arena on Twitter.
Certainly where we get our notes and news. Caceres on the restart. To Jones. Pereira. Good defense by Mansoret. Ball deflects out of play. Restart to the Stars. We're under 5 to go here in the third quarter. It's been a game. Each team going up by 2 at some point, but now the game is tied at 4-4. Ramos getting pushed back by Pacheco. He gets by him. Turns around, out to Debray Holloman. Debray out to Caceres. Caceres back to Ramos.
I'd like to give a quick shout out to the Fury staff for a quick refixing of the turf there at halftime.
Boom! Golazo! Thiago Gonzalez!
Thiago running down the pitch, taking it solo. Nobody on him, sees the daylight in front of him, advances into the space here as he collects the ball as it bumbles around in the midfield, takes it end to end, sees that wide open space and says, "Thank you very much, I'll take this right in the left corner."
Danny Waldman got a hands on it, but Thiago had enough mustard behind that shot to put the Fury up 5-4. And Toyota Arena is getting loud. Thiago Gonçalves, another goal on the season, his 3rd and his 10th point in this young MASL season.
Danny Waltman rubbing that right hand. He might make a trip to the Inland Empire Health Providers. Folks, for the past 25 years, IEHP has been helping people get the care they need when they need it. Visit more at IEHP.org.
Oh, you and your reads. I think you should do a read at the beginning of every counter because every time you've done that, we've seen a goal.
That's the thing about indoor soccer, folks. You try and say something and boom, a goal.
I mean, do you remember that? This harkens back to our very first game that we ever called, that game against the Tropics. Our first game ever was like 3 seconds. We had just gotten internet connection, and all of a sudden, goal. We've seen a lot of surprises doing this, and I certainly enjoy being up here in the booth with you, Doctor.
It was a blast. That first game was a wild one. We lost all our lighting in the booth, and it came back about 2 seconds in, and that's all it took for them to knock the lights out with a goal.
Indeed, and that was Ian Bennett. On the restart, we have Nick Pereira. And he has a shot saved by DeLima. Keats there to rebound. Oh, that was a close call. That was a close call. We were looking at an equalizer right there.
Clayson DeLima fired up, yelling at his players there to block that shot before it comes in.
Hoo-wee. Cisse to Uzi. Uzi back out to Izzy. Marked by Minetti. It's good to see Travis Pittman back in the game. He came out earlier limping, and fortunately, the goal scorer, number 22 in his first season with the Fury, back on the turf. And there's Tayou, trying to find some space again. Frank does like to go right.
Pittman's a baller. I'm sure he rubs some dirt on it. He'll be all right.
Stinson to Tayou. Tayou with some space. Shot just above the crossbar. Plexi still moving. Stinson getting by 2 defenders. How he got by Megson and Keats is beyond me. 3 minutes and 26 seconds left to go here in the third quarter. Pass to Megson. Sees Pereira. But he's getting chased down, hunted by Cisse and Tayou. And Tayou. Tayou, and Cisse. There's a law firm right there. Aguirre. Fury on the counter. We see Stinson. Stinson off the boards, going 1v1 against Ramos. Trying to break Ramos' ankle. Good defense. Kicks it back out to Topete.
Great defense there by the Tacoma Stars as the Fury had the 3-on-2 attack. Tacoma able to shut it down. Fury maintained possession.
Topete to De Leon. De Leon off the boards. A little miscommunication. Topete still there to receive. Topete out to Palmer. He has Miniti on him. Palmer trying to get by Miniti. Out to Topete. Topete with Megson on him. Palmer off of the boards down low to Tayou. Tayou with Holloman on him. Tayou trying to turn around, go left, shot. Picked up, scooped by Danny Waltman.
Holloman, great job getting a boot on that shot, taking the mustard off it.
Hansen out to Keats. Oh, he gets pushed down by Tayou. Not many fouls on the King. I believe that might be his second thus far in this game.
That's what my notes have. Of course, I missed a little bit while I was doing laps around the arena.
Oh, hey, you were getting your exercise. Nothing wrong with a little bit of that. You'll never regret it when it's done. And you'll certainly not... never mind. Topete. We're under 2 minutes to go here in the third quarter. If you're just joining us, 5-4 Fury. It's been a fun game thus far. Berto.
It has been back and forth. Stars took the early 2-0 lead. Fury with 4 unanswered took a 2-goal lead at 4-2. It's been back and forth ever since, currently sitting in the Fury's favor 5-4.
And there's Mansoret with Caceres holding him. Mansoret. Good defense by Tacoma. He gives it up. Tacoma gets the ball back. Gonçalves. Mansoret fighting on the boards with DeLuna. Oh! And it looks like it's going to be on the Fury.
Looks like Mansoret just got a hand of that ball while he was on the ground trying to re-find his feet. Restart for Tacoma.
Pereira crossing the midfield. Ramos calling for it. He receives. Ramos with a shot off of the boards. Clayson picks it up. Under a minute to go in the third quarter, folks. We hope you've been enjoying this game. We've certainly been enjoying calling it. Dantas heads it to Ramos. Cisse. Tayou. Caceres. Vinny Dantas, who had scored his 5th goal of the season earlier, dumps it down low to teammate Nick Pereira. Pereira with Dantas on his left. Chips it. Scooped up by DeLima. Under 30 seconds to go here in the third quarter. Fury looking to get one more shot off before the buzzer. Tayou. Off the boards to Pittman. Pittman to Berto. Berto. Back to Tayou. Tayou making some space. Shot. Boom! The King has scored yet again! Another goal for the mighty King himself. Walk us through it, Reimer.
We see Berto with a beautiful bit of footwork, plays the ball out to the King, and the King, fancy, takes that left-footed shot, finds the back corner. The King says 15 seconds, plenty of time. I got this. It's Fury 6, Tacoma 4 as we get into the waning seconds of the third quarter.
Click, 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 boom. Goal for Frank Tayou.
Absolutely beautiful stuff here from Berto. Fakes the shot, quick turn as the pass comes back out to the King, and then the King dancing, and firing.
And with those 2 goals thus far, he finds himself with 15 goals on the season. 19 points altogether. Less than 14 seconds to go. Caceres patiently waiting to pass the ball to Danny Waltman. Waltman's going to fire one into the netting. With 3.3 seconds left to go in the third quarter, the Fury get the ball back.
Well, we've certainly seen goalkeepers taking their shots these past few days. An absolute worldy of a goal by Chris Toth last time. And that, folks, brings us to the end of the third quarter. 2 goals, certainly not a safe lead. We got plenty of action for you coming up in the fourth quarter. We'll be back, folks, with all the action for you on MASL TV right after these messages.
Available interior work surface to work it out up front. Plus the capability of available Pro Power on board to work it out in back. Tough this smart can only be called F-150. Introducing the all-new 2021 Ford F-150.
We can talk about vaccine hesitancy.
There is a subcategory that is afraid about the speed at which the vaccine was developed. The pioneers are just amazing, incredible individuals. I mean, we're standing on the work that they did.
It really wasn't rushed through. It's extremely difficult to predict who's going to die from COVID and who's not going to die from it.
Society has an obligation to help others when others are struggling. Families can become distressed because they lose their father. Now a mother's forced to raise their 3 children. How does she get a job? How does she create the means to take care of her kids?
For nearly 30 years, National Core and Hope Through Housing have changed the lives of hundreds of thousands of individuals, providing housing, offering hope, transforming communities. National Core and Hope Through Housing, building the future of community.
Folks, we'd like to give a shout out to Chill Brands. Chill.com is the official CBD brand of the MASL, helping our athletes reach their maximum potential by promoting proper and expedited recovery. Welcome to the club, Chill Brands, and welcome to the booth, Jimmy Nordberg. And with that, folks, I'm going to turn the microphone over to the gaffer who's riding the pine today, serving a 1-game suspension. Folks, here is head coach of the Ontario Fury, Jimmy Nordberg.
Thanks, John. That's not the first time I've been introduced as riding the pine.
Jimmy, how you doing? I'm not used to having you up in the booth during the game. What are your thoughts so far on what's been going on?
I'm miserable. I want to be on the bench with the guys.
So does this mean you don't like hanging out with me? What's up with that?
Philly, I love you, but I love my team too.
I hear you. Well, are you loving the way the team's been playing so far?
Second half has been better. More tempo. We're getting Frank the ball in better spots. Trying to isolate him a little bit. Come on, Pete.
Pacheco with a shot, just off of the post. De Leon on the rebound, passing it out to Gonçalves. What do you think of the job that Jeff Hughes and Corey Murray and Troy Molina have been doing in your absence?
Terrific. I think they're guys that know this game through and through, and I really trust them. And I think they're good with the guys, and the team is looking good.
Where were you? What do you think they said to get the team to rally? Obviously, they found themselves in a hole down 2-0. They had 4 unanswered goals. They tied the game. It could have been demoralizing, but then they find themselves up 2-0. What do you think was said in the locker room?
I think it's just keep on going. They just got to keep on doing the things right, and we got to bond together as a team and make the right choices.
See Ramos to Caceres. We saw a couple of these players on the Fury throughout the various years. Who do you like thus far in terms of the Tacoma Stars? Who's been playing the best for you?
I mean, Nick Pereira is very good. Ramos is an excellent player as well. Vinny Dantas is very good. The Stars have a very good team.
On any given day, they can beat anybody. On paper, they look fantastic. I mean, underachieving, but they had an eye-opening 15-goal game against St. Louis a couple of weeks ago.
Absolutely. And obviously, Danny is a very good keeper, one of the best in this league. So
yeah, he's been tested. 8 saves thus far on the game, but Clayson with 10 going into the fourth quarter.
Yep.
Ramos with the block. He's on the counter. We see Minetti sprinting with him. Pacheco back shot, saved by De Lima. Pacheco off of the boards, whistle. And that ball is going to come back to Ontario. I mean, between the 2 keeper positions, obviously you had Chris go out as a result of the Wednesday game against San Diego, but it's got to give you a lot more reassurance this season, having 2 goalkeepers you could rely on.
Absolutely. I think anything we learned from last year is that, it takes you 2 keepers to really win in this league. So we're very happy with our keepers.
Aguirre out to Topete. To Uzi. To Aguirre. De Leon with a shot, saved by Waltman. Off of the boards, Minetti there. Finding Adam West. Uzi pressuring the ball. Into the midfield to Holloman. With 2 Fury defenders on him. He gets by Topete, but Topete did not like that. Pushes Debray down. Debray, obviously, you coached with his father last season, LB. Just a wealth of talent. You have any updates on what LB's been up to? I know he's coaching, but what's he doing right now?
Yeah, he's coaching. He's got a college job. He's coaching the youth club. He's doing very, very well. We still talk. And obviously, Debray played for us as well. So
I saw a photo of him and the family on Facebook not too long ago. They're all bundled up, looking they're about to go, hang out with the Eskimos. And
he definitely misses the weather here in California.
Of course, we were talking about it. You look around in places like New York and in the Midwest, you see snow everywhere. And, we're freezing, a blistering 72 degrees outside. But it's certainly hot in here. The Fury have turned it on. And warm air rises in Toyota Arena, folks. We certainly feel it here in the broadcast booth. If you're just tuning in right now, the Fury find themselves up 6-4 on the Tacoma Stars. And we have a blue card. There's a penalty. Got so wrapped up talking about the weather, missed George Day. Oh, who's going into the bin?
I think it's his third foul.
Okay.
Fourth foul, yeah.
And we see Mike Ramos. Mike Ramos, who had a bullet of a shot earlier in the game. He's in the sin bin. The Fury with the power play. And power play, you guys are sitting at, we are rather, 39% on the season. Certainly room for improvement.
Yeah, I don't think we've hit our stride yet on that. So let's see what happens here.
Pacheco to Stinson. Stinson out to De Leon. He's been such an awesome player since you guys picked him up from Mesquite.
Love him.
Gonsalves.
Here you go.
De Leon. De Leon to Pacheco. Out to Stinson. Pacheco. He's also been having a great season. We talk about it often on the podcast about we thought he was going to be the breakout player for you this season. He's been a pleasant surprise all year long. Stinson to Tiago. Tiago. Oh, trying to thread the needle into Pacheco. And there's a foul. It's going to be on Justin Stinson. And we have Keats down on the turf. Stinson being the gentleman and trying to help him back up. With so many weapons on the Fury, you've got Frank, you've got Justin, you've got Pacheco. Again, the reassurance is there. The weapons that the Fury have. The Achilles heel has been San Diego, Coach. What do you think the Fury need to do to get over the hump and beat San Diego?
I think it's a mental thing. San Diego's a very well-coached team, very disciplined team, and they're never going to give up. And they're a veteran team, so we got a lot of young players, and we got to figure out how to win games.
It's good to have a break. You've played him 4 times. Whoa! Frank tried to thread the needle, but between Keats and Waltman, they stopped the 7th goal from happening. But you're going to get to know Tacoma fairly well, too. You're playing them another 4 times after today.
That's right.
Gonsalves out to De Leon. And then the boys tackled Utica City, a team that you obviously squared off against not even a week ago. What would you say you saw in that game against Utica City?
Well, that's a difficult place to play. Their fans are great over there. They get after it, and it made it very difficult on us. But again, we got the win, so I think it's going to be another difficult game for us.
Certainly one of the better atmospheres in this league. Within that little arena, the Adirondack Bank Center, they make it loud.
Yep.
Gonsalves to Tayou. Tayou to Stinson.
Sloppy.
Stinson trying to find some space. De Leon at the top of the yellow line. To Gonsalves. Gonsalves! Kick save by Danny Waltman. Foot race between De Leon and Ramos. De Leon getting back. Ramos. Good defense by the Fury. Keats. Shot over the crossbar. Pereira into the netting.
All right, Philly, pleasure stopping by. I'm going to head back down. I'm going to give this back over to John.
You're so into the game. I can totally tell, Coach. We can't wait to see you back out on there. Good luck the rest of the season. Good luck the rest of this half.
Thanks, guys.
Wow, what a treat, Philly. Nordberg in the booth. Not something we hope to ever see again, but certainly a pleasure to have.
We love Jimmy, but we love him even more coaching the Fury. Tayou out to Cisse. Cisse over to Uzi. Uzi out to Izzy. Minetti on him. Travis Pittman in the ball game. Cisse back out to DeLima. Under 10 to go in the fourth quarter. Ooh.
Clayson having to retreat off the ball there. Almost made the mistake for a second time today of touching it twice.
First time obviously it didn't work out, but Clayson with the wherewithal to know not to make that mistake again.
That rule certainly requiring a lot of adaptation and changes to what these guys have been doing their whole careers.
And there's Mansoret pressuring the ball. Good defense by London.
The wheels on London, man, he can move. Mansoret got to be one of the fastest guys
Keats
out
with
there.
space, shot, saved by DeLima. Another attempt. Close call for the Fury. And Huzi Tayou there to clean it all up. Scooped up by Clayson. We talk about Mansoret. Not only did he play college soccer in Wilmington and Delaware, but he also ran track. I mean, as a soccer player, you got to be fast, but when you're a track star too, a double varsity lettered athlete, I mean, that speaks volumes about this kid's athleticism.
He can move, that's for sure.
Tayou.
We're going to get a blue card for too many men on the turf as Mansoret, as fast as he is, was a little slow getting to the bench there.
Taking a look at that save once again. Clayson DeLima looking good.
Reigning goalkeeper of the year, relegated to second man for the Fury, certainly stepping up big tonight, Philly.
Young man, young career, plenty of time to develop, and he's got a great mentor in that of Chris Toth.
You're probably going to see that highlight later on MASL social media, folks. Get the latest news on the MASL and your favorite teams by following MASL Soccer on Facebook and Instagram, as well as MASL Arena on Twitter. We've got a timeout called by the Tacoma Stars here. We're going to have a chance to regroup. We're going to send it out to messages. We'll be right back after these moments, powered by Ford.
Available interior work surface to work it out up front. Plus the capability of available Pro Power on board to work it out in back. Tough this smart can only be called F-150. Introducing the all-new 2021 Ford F-150.
We'd like to give a shout out to the folks at Frontier Communities, your hometown builder and proud sponsor of your Ontario Fury. Frontier Communities doesn't just build homes, they build communities for generations to live, enjoy, and love. Your dream home is their mission every step of the way. Learn more at fhcommunities.org. Philly, what an action-packed game we've had so far. It was all Tacoma to start the game, all Fury in the rebuttal. It's been back and forth since, and the Fury have found a way to edge themselves a 2-goal lead yet again.
And as we hear on the loudspeaker, For the Glory by the band, all good things. It's certainly what both teams are battling for. I'm proud to say that I'm good friends with the lead singer and the guitarist of that band. They've had their songs in everywhere. Commercial, Utica City utilizes them, the Stanley Cup playoffs, all good things everywhere. For the Glory, make sure you check out my buddy's band. They're everywhere. Millions of streams on Spotify.
Ooh, dangerous pass back there. Clayson DeLima able to get the ball out just in the nick of time.
8 minutes and 23 to go in this fourth quarter. It is going to be a crazy one at Toyota Arena. Minute 32 left to go in this power play. We see Abdul Mansoret in the sin bin, charged with too many men. Pereira. Berto. Oh, and we know the Fury haven't been the greatest on the penalty kill this season. I mean, I don't know what the numbers are after the previous penalty kill, but I mean, they were sitting at 57% going into this matchup.
Oh, just unlucky there from Berto, too. He had a brilliant opportunity to kill some clock, and the ball just bounces up to his hand.
Would have been a good run, too. Dantas fires it. He scores a goal. Vinny Dantas with a Brazilian bomb. Past Clayson de Lima. It is now 6-5, Ontario Fury.
Dantas getting it done there. Just a real quick restart there as the ball is played out to the wing, and he's able to pick the top corner with an absolute golazo. What a strike from Vinny Dantas. And we got ourselves a one-goal game. Don't go anywhere, folks. The action's heating up. We got 8 minutes left in this fourth quarter and just one goal separating the Fury and the Tacoma Stars here from Toyota Arena.
Dantas, a veteran. Dantas, a veteran of this game, his 8th season in MASL, but only his 2nd with Tacoma. We talked about him being MASL All-Rookie Team in 2015. He was an MASL Championship MVP in 2017 and, of course, a 2020 All-Star. Vinny Dantas getting yet another goal here in Toyota Arena. We hear the drums of the Fury supporters starting to bang, trying to hype the boys to get back into action. Berto out to Stinson. Stinson resets back out to Topete. Stinson back out to Johnny. Here's Johnny to Debray. Berto, wide open Frank. Good defense by Holloman. Berto back out to Frank. Prevented the King from scoring himself a hat trick.
Fantastic recovery there, able to get a foot in front of the shot of Big Frank and keeping him from his hat trick as of yet.
Stinson trying to use the boards to get past Hansen. He finds Frank, marked by Holloman. Out to Berto. Berto puts Megson on the ground. Shot! Topete with a rocket above the crossbar. Reset. Back out over to Stinson. Under 7 minutes to go.
Looks like Waltman got some fingers on that as it was going up. Credit him with a save on that rocket of a shot.
Gonçalves. Back heels it to Berto. Palmer. See Justin Stinson running the line. Off of the boards. Holloman misses it. There's a shot from Tayou to Berto. Fury goal. Click, click, click. Boom!
We've got ourselves a Berto bomb as the Fury go back up by 2 in the latter half of this fourth quarter. What a play there. Gonçalves fires the ball down. A misplay finds it at the feet of Frank, and he unselfishly passes across the front of goal for Berto to have the easy tap in.
And an unfortunate play for Debray Holloman. He tried to get his foot on the ball, but him missing is what led to that goal. Tayou had himself some space, found Berto coming in, a clinical 2-1.
And with that, folks, we have a media timeout. We're going to go ahead and take a break. We'll be right back in just a short moment after these messages powered by Ford.
Available interior work surface to work it out up front, plus the capability of available Pro Power on board to work it out in back. Tough this smart can only be called F-150. Introducing the all-new 2021 Ford F-150.
We can talk about vaccine hesitancy.
There is a subcategory that is afraid about the speed at which the vaccine was developed. The pioneers are just amazing, incredible individuals. I mean, we're standing on the work that they did.
It really wasn't rushed through. It's extremely difficult to predict who's going to die from COVID and who's not going to die from it.
Well, folks, it might be ski season for all of you out there digging snow off your front porch. Here in lovely Ontario, California, we're going to be strapping on our Boss Juvansky water skis and reminding you all that MASL Primetime is the home for the best highlights, interviews, and action from the MASL each week. Catch the latest episode every Wednesday with none other than Alex Boss Juvansky.
De Leon trying to find Pittman. I thought that was going to be another one of those Jonathan Reimer makes his reads and we have a goal on a counter.
I'm going to read us into a hat trick here.
water skis, huh? I've known you for years. I've never known you to be this funny outside of the booth. I get to learn more and more about you every time I spend days with you up here. De Leon.
Trying to sound as funny as I look, Philly.
No, you're a handsome man. Cisse. Back
My
out
mom
to
certainly
Pittman.
thinks so.
I believe we don't have faces for radio. Hernandez with Caceres on him. Nestor trying to find some space. Kicks it back out to Pittman. Pittman out to Cisse. 5 minutes and 43 seconds left to go. It is 7-5 Ontario Fury here in Toyota Arena. Hernandez resets out to Cisse.
Smart move by the Fury here. Run down some clock. Maintain some possession. Pick your moment.
Stinson trying to get by Jones. Jones normally off of the boards to Tayou. Backheels it. Pereira there. And Stinson's on the ground. But he gets himself back up. Ball comes out, resets. Emmanuel Aguirre. Tayou out to Stinson. Stinger lobs it in off of the boards to Berto. Berto heads it out to Aguirre. Aguirre to Berto. Back out to Topete. Under 5 to go here in Toyota Arena. This has been an exciting game thus far, Doctor.
Yeah, about 45 seconds of sustained possession for the Fury here. Exactly what they need.
Stinson with Tayou. Tayou by himself with Caceres. Turns around, Tayou well off of the mark. But there's going to be a foul on Caceres. Back to the Fury.
Frank feeling vindicated, finally getting a call for someone tugging on his shirt at the hip there. Seems like that's been going on all game, and we finally get a call for it.
And yeah, folks, Fury's next home game is going to be this Tuesday, February the 1st against Utica City FC. Utica City making their first trip out to Toyota Arena. That should be a fun game. And it's a timeout on Ontario.
Smart time to take a timeout there, Philly, right before the restart. And with that, we're going to head to a break. We'll be right back after these messages powered by Ford.
Available interior work surface to work it out up front, plus the capability of available Pro Power on board to work it out in back. Tough this smart can only be called F-150. Introducing the all-new 2021 Ford F-150.
Folks, we'd like to give a shout out to Amanda the Panda Philomen, our registered sideline reporter and registered nurse who's got some helpful health tips here for you about premier COVID testing. My apologies, Panda, who is serving duties as Rams Fan of the Year, unable to check in with us as of yet. We are looking hopefully to get an update from Amanda live from SoFi Stadium where she's holding it down for the blue and yellow today. Well, we know that her heart is with us in red and black, Philly.
Her Rams Fan of the Year duties pretty much imply that she's at the game cheering her lungs out for the Rams. And by the looks of things at SoFi, it's a sea of red. On the restart, Gonçalves. Keats there. Keats and Aguirre. Aguirre back out to De Lima. 4 minutes and 30 seconds left to go here in the fourth. And there's Vinny Dantas on the run. Tries to find his teammate, but Pacheco there to intercept. Aguirre there on the counter with Ramos on him. Back out over to Stinson. Stinson telling the team to chill.
Oh, yes,
that was your
to
Chill Brands. Yeah, there you go. Setting you up. Uzi with Pereira running behind him. Uzi pulled down by Nick Pereira. Foul on Tacoma.
Uzi felt like that was a goal-scoring opportunity, was asking for more than the common foul that he received.
Gonçalves to Aguirre, back out to Pacheco. Under 4 to go. Tayou with Holloman on him. Off of the boards. Pacheco. Back out to De Lima. Pressure by Pereira. Up top to Berto. Gonçalves. Back out to Palmer. Palmer, who just scored the last goal of the game for the Fury. De Leon getting past Corey Keats. Over to Robert Palmer. Back out to De Leon. De Leon off of the post.
Oh my goodness, what an opportunity that was, just wide off the bar.
Juan De Leon would certainly like to get back because he had Danny Waltman beat on there. And there's a whistle.
Philly, can you remember a game in which so many wide open shots from up close have been missed? There is nothing guaranteed in this league.
Look, I don't really want to, and that's going to be a trip. Pacheco
lucky to avoid further disciplinary action there. Could have seen himself 2 minutes for tripping.
You were absolutely right with your previous statement. It is a game of inches, and several of these plays could have resulted in a much bigger and crazier scoring line. But thus far, we've been treated to 7 goals by the Fury, 5 for the Stars. Pereira winds up. Shot. Saved by De Lima. Dantas off of the boards.
What a save by Clayson.
Gonçalves over to Tayou. He's got Pacheco running up. Waltman there. Kicks it out. Cisse heads it. Palmer. Right to Nick Pereira. Vinny Dantas. We're under 3 to go here in Toyota Arena.
6th attackers on the field. It looks like it's going to be Michael Ramos.
And he has scored a goal earlier in this game. Watch out for the 6th attacker. It's been an Achilles heel for the Fury all season long. Pereira back out to Ramos. Ramos out to Caceres.
I believe the Fury have allowed a goal versus the 6th attacker every time but one, and they hit the post twice.
Megson, saved by De Lima. Shot, score! That is a goal for Megson, a goal for Tacoma. And once again, the 6th attacker plagues the Fury.
Megson finding the back of the net here as Clayson comes off his line, just can't keep the ball. Megson follows through on his own play and finds the back of the net and finds himself with a brace. And Tacoma finds themselves just 1 goal from tying this one up, Philly.
A nice goal by the elegant assassin. Tacoma very much in this game, only down by 1. Clayson frustrated at that play, frustrated at himself for not making the save.
6th attacker back on the bench. Danny Waltman back out on the field with 2 minutes and 30 seconds left in the 4th quarter.
Here we go. 2:27 left to go here in this 4th quarter.
Well, the broadcasters curse, Philly, as soon as we call out the Ontario Fury for not performing well against the 6th attacker. And seconds later, Tacoma finds the back of the net.
I don't believe in those hijinks, my friend.
What I do believe is that we mentioned it in our keys to the game. The Fury have got to be better versus the extra man.
And that's Debray. Foul's going to be on Gonçalves. Back to Tacoma.
The
6th
Fury
attacker
lucky.
back out onto the turf.
Fury lucky once again to be avoiding the sin bin with a potential boarding there as Mike Ramos back out in the 6th attacker jersey.
Danny Waltman on the bench. Pereira marked by Hernandez. Under 2 to go. Caceres back to Pereira. Pereira to Caceres. Caceres out to Ramos. Fury trying to hang on. Dantas off of the boards. Minetti to Dantas. Ramos with a shot. Whoa! And that gets blocked. Berto lets one go and he clears it. It's a foot race. Hernandez there with Ramos. There's a battle. Hernandez has it. He sees Uzi. Uzi with a little bit of space. Gets by Pereira. Back out to Nestor. Nestor off of the boards to Cisse. And it's Dantas with the ball, but get back, Fury. Pereira. Caceres.
Last year,
we're under a minute to go here in the 4th quarter. What kind of drama are we in store for? Caceres out to Pereira. Pereira with Nestor Hernandez marking him. Getting by. Out to Ramos. Ramos winds up. It gets blocked. Shot. Cleaned up by Berto. Race between Nestor and Ramos. Hernandez tried to stick with it, but Ramos there. 37 seconds left to go in the 4th quarter. Caceres trying to push things up to Nick Pereira. Nick Pereira with Gonçalves on him. Megson calling for it. Pereira does not see him. He takes up. Shot. Pereira with the goal. It is a tie game in Toyota Arena. Are you kidding me?
Well, Philly, we called it. You gotta contain the captain. You gotta be better versus the extra man. Both of those notes showing themselves once again here as Pereira allowed a wide open look here as we see him take it by himself, dancing with the ball across the yellow line, just turns and fires and catches Clayson with his weight on the wrong foot. He did not expect that shot to be coming back to his right. Pereira finds the back of the net, and with 27 seconds left, we got a tie game, and we might be going into extra minutes once again, Philly.
And Frank calls for a timeout for the Fury. Look at how quickly things can change in just a mere 2 minutes. The Fury were up by 2 goals. And now because of the 6th attacker and because of Nick Pereira, we have a tie game with 27 seconds left to go.
Wow, you know, Nestor Hernandez had himself a wide open look there. If he could have just found a way to get that ball towards the wide open net. Instead, the ball turns over, and on the very next possession, Tacoma's able to tie the game. Philly, it's got to be frustrating if you're on the Fury side here. It seems like every single time the 6th attacker is out there, the Fury are giving up a goal. If you're Tacoma, man, you've got to be excited about this game. Clawing your way back in from what looked like a sure victory for the Fury. And here we are, 27 seconds left in a tie ball game.
And as we said, again, that 6th attacker has been the Fury's Achilles heel all season long. In fact, it was an Achilles heel last season as well. 2 straight games, they find themselves up a couple of goals with a mere couple of minutes before the end of regulation, and now we have a tie. I'm getting PTSD from the last matchup. Crazier things have happened, as we saw between Chihuahua and San Diego. Can this game end in regulation, or are we set for overtime?
Oh, shoot, 27 seconds. There's time for at least 3 goals the way things have been going in the MASL these past few weeks. Ain't nothing over yet, Philly.
Again, folks, if you're not entertained and excited by action like this, something is clearly wrong with you. Indoor soccer, the best sport in North America. It's going to be George De Leon lining up in the midfield with Justin Stinson. Got a bit of a dance cam going on, but we're under 25 seconds left to go in regulation. Danny Waldman holds the ball. Oh, he tried to find Debray. Debray looking, not looking. Gonzalez there to pick it up on a counter. Gonzalez back heels it to De Leon. De Leon shot. Saved by Waltman. Danny the Wall Waltman making another tremendous save. And it looks like we're heading into overtime, folks. DeLima out to Stinson. There it is. It is overtime again in Toyota Arena.
Well, if there's one thing I love, it's soccer. And what do I love more than soccer? More soccer. And we've got a 5th quarter overtime heading our way in just a few moments, folks. We're going to pause for just a second here and give a chance for the sponsors to say a word to y'all. We'll be right back after this.
We can talk about vaccine hesitancy.
There is a subcategory that is afraid about the speed at which the vaccine was developed. The pioneers are just amazing, incredible individuals. I mean, we're standing on the work that they did.
It really wasn't rushed through. It's extremely difficult to predict who's going to die from COVID and who's not going to die from it.
Society has an obligation to help others when others are struggling. Families can become distressed because they lose their father. Now a mother's forced to raise their 3 children. How does she get a job? How does she create the means to take care of her kids?
For nearly 30 years, National Core and Hope Through Housing have changed the lives of hundreds of thousands of individuals, providing housing, offering hope, transforming communities. National Core and Hope Through Housing, building the future of community.
between all these overtimes that we've been calling, Doctor, I might need to take a trip to the Inland Empire, health providers. This is nuts. Another overtime game. It's been one heck of a game. And I'll tell you, this is the loudest I've heard Toyota Arena. The crowd is into it. Everybody's into it. Let's see what happens. Sudden, golden goal, sudden death, overtime. Will it be the Fury? Will it be the Tacoma Stars? The drama to be unveiled momentarily.
Well, one thing is for sure. Each team will go home with 1 point in those crucial Western Conference standings today, Philly. Who gets the second point is up to overtime. And heck, we might see another shootout like we had a couple nights ago.
Again, I don't know if I could take much more of that. This is exciting. This is indoor soccer. This is the MASL, folks.
Oh, we've got ourselves a case of encroachment once again in back-to-back games. Players crossing the line a little early.
And that's the Fury to start things off. Thiago Gonçalves dumps it off of the boards to Justin Stinson. Stinger. There's Waltman there to scoop it up. But it's the Fury there to intercept. Gonçalves with Dantas on him. Gonçalves out to Uzi. Uzi marked by Keats. Out to Gonçalves again. Gonçalves to Frank. Frank turning around, trying to find some space. To Gonçalves. Back heels it back to Stinson. Stinson trying to find himself some space. Out to Pacheco. Pacheco marked by Minetti. Out to Gonçalves. Fury trying to find some space. Settle in. Off of the boards. Cleared out by Tacoma. Uzi clears it out to Clayson DeLima. We have a line change. Cisse into the matchup. Out to Palmer. Palmer off of the boards to Frank. Frank and Jones. This has been the battle all day long. Frank off of the boards. Oh, Pittman. Pittman tried to sneak that by Danny Waltman.
Tried to get a clever little outside boot, maybe back heel there. Waltman, too clever for that.
Now we have Caceres. Pressured by Hernandez. Off of the boards to Pereira. Pereira with Palmer on him. Pereira with a shot off of the boards. Caceres. Off of the boards, ricochets into the hands of DeLima. Crowd's getting into it. We're hearing the drums. We're hearing the kids. Palmer.
Oh, it's edge of your seat action here at Toyota Arena. The anticipation palpable in the arena.
I don't know who's sweating more, the players on the turf or the broadcasters in the booth. DeLima coming out with the shot right to Waltman. Clayson hustling back to not get caught.
Clayson had a wide open look there, just unable to get some power behind that blast safely into the hands of Danny Waltman.
Good idea by him, but nothing there. Waltman dumping it down into the netting, and it's good. Goalkeeper distribution for the Fury. 7 minutes, 42 seconds left to go here in overtime.
Danny Waltman with the 50-yard field goal there.
Enough to make Adam Vinatieri jealous. DeLima down low, off of the back into the netting.
Back-to-back goalkeepers putting it into the netting here. Clearly, hearts are racing for the men in gloves as well, too.
And it's going to be Tacoma on the restart. Cross down low to Dantas. Dantas out to Pereira. Pereira back out to his teammate Vinny. Both players having scored goals in this game thus far. Pereira with a little bit of space. Pereira, good defense by Nestor Hernandez. Pereira thought he could turn around and had a little more space, but Nestor was there to say no. Palmer up top to Gonçalves. Gonçalves out to De Leon. De Leon with a shot. Saved by Danny Waltman. And he scoops it up. Another great save by the veteran keeper.
Oh, it's end-to-end action here.
Rolls it out to Keats. Whoa, Berto flew over him.
We got a whistle, and it's going to be called against Keats for
Keats
tripping
can't
Berto
believe
on
it.
the play, and he cannot understand what's going on.
He doesn't understand.
Let's see this save once again here. What a replay.
See Gonsalves there. De Leon winds up. Waltman there to get his mitts on it. Pittman out to Palmer. Palmer trying to find Cisse, but it gets headed out by Ramos.
Not going to be a top-of-the-arc restart. The Fury are certainly not happy about that as the ref places the ball just inside the yellow line for a Fury free.
And it is Cisse there to take the restart. Out to Palmer. Up to Stinson. Stinson getting by Minetti. He's been doing that all game long. Stinson with a shot just above the crossbar. DeLuna. Out to Ramos. Ramos getting by Aguirre.
Good recovery.
He has Hansen
by
running
Aguirre.
with him. Good defense, though, by Aguirre. Pereira. Out to Holloman. Holloman has Frank on him. They've been battling it all day long, too. Stinson. Stinson out to Frank. It's Frank and Pereira. Oh, but there's Debray to scoop it up. Pereira. Frank coming off. You know the King wants that goal, but you also know on the other end of the turf, Pereira wants it too, as does Dantas. They're setting up. Caceres out to Waltman. Waltman crossing the midfield. Dumps it to Pereira. Tried to find Pereira. Just gets by him.
Oh, Clayson had an opportunity there to go for goal if he could have just put his foot through it. A chance to see a goalkeeper with a golden goal.
Crazier things have happened. Uzi. Off of the boards to Aguirre. Caceres there. Good defense. Keats out. Minetti. Off of the boards to Dantas.
Pereira back out on the turf for Tacoma.
We're about halfway done with overtime. 7-7. And if you're just joining us, it only took 2 minutes. Like within 2 minutes and 30 seconds, the Stars, from being down 2, tied the game. That's how we find ourselves in the predicament that we are in. 4 minutes and 48 left to go in overtime. Are we going to see another shootout? That would be 2 straight days in Toyota Arena. I'd love to know the last time that has happened. Caceres. Off of the boards to Pereira. Pereira with Gonsalves on him. Gonsalves doing everything he can to stop him. De Leon. Off of the boards. Nobody there with him, though. Caceres.
De Leon opting for the line change there. Just dumps it down to Waltman. Fresh legs out for both teams.
At this point, it's anybody's game. We shall see who the better conditioned team is. If fatigue is a factor, fatigue makes a coward out of most people, but both teams battling. Pacheco on the counter. He has a shot. Saved by Danny Waltman.
What a left-footed leg save by Waltman, keeping this game going.
Gonsalves out to Palmer.
That one might be in the run-in for save of the week. Waltman's had about 10 saves today that might be in the run-in for save of the week. Hello, Boss Juvansky. We got your prime time right here in Toyota Arena.
Cisse. Crossing the midfield, finding Frank. It is Frank with Jones. Oh, miscommunication. Slips by Palmer, but Stinson was there. Stinson out to Palmer. Vinny Dantas coming up to pressure him. Pass out to Pacheco. Pacheco tried to find Cisse. Can't make that mistake. Cisse with it.
Clayson smartly retreating off the ball there and allowing Izzy to recover and collect.
Cisse with Hansen on him. Stinson. Trying to get by Minetti. Foul. And it looks like it's going to be whistle. Favors the Fury. Three minutes and 7 seconds left to go in overtime. So Pete.
Stinson frustrated he didn't get a chance to play on there. Felt like he had the advantage.
Under 3 to go.
Clayson advancing past the halfway mark.
Out to Topete. Topete back out to Clayson. Wide open net. Fury have to be careful here. Pittman. Crossing the yellow line with Keats on him. Off of the boards. Waltman there once again. 2 minutes and 30 seconds left to go here in overtime. Waltman lets it launch to Pereira. He heads it out to Dantas. Dantas with a little space. Shot. Deflected off of Stinson and out of play. Good defense by the Stinger.
It's going to be a corner for Tacoma with 2 minutes, 22 seconds left here in overtime. Will we get a golden goal, or will we go to yet another back-to-back game in a shootout? But first, we're going to have ourselves a media timeout. Let the tension build. Folks, we'll be right back after this break with these messages powered by Ford.
Available interior work surface to work it out in front, plus the capability of available Pro Power on board to work it out in back. Tough this smart can only be called F-150. Introducing the all-new 2021 Ford F-150.
Folks, we're going to be back in a few short days for the next in our home game series, taking on Upstate FC. It's the boys from Utica heading down Tuesday, February 1st, 7:30 kickoff. Plenty of tickets available. Come on out to Toyota Arena. The action is unrestrained in the MASL, folks.
Tell me you got something better to do on a Tuesday night here in Ontario other than to come out to Toyota Arena. I bet you don't. Come out and support your boys. Fury needs you. The hottest ticket in the Inland Empire, folks. And there's going to be Caceres on those corner kick restart. Out to Pereira. Out to Caceres. Caceres with Izzy on the shot. High into the netting.
Good D by Berto on Pereiras there, limiting Tacoma to the low percentage shot.
And that's Berto crossing the midfield. De Leon to Pacheco. Back out to De Leon. Ball goes over to Cisse. Under 2 minutes to go here in overtime. Doctor, do you have any more nails or cuticles left? Because I sure don't. Shot off of the boards.
Ooh, almost a poor deflection there for Tacoma, but luckily Waltman able to recover. Here comes Tacoma.
Holloman pressured by Tayou. He passes it back out to Waltman. Caceres. Trying to find Holloman. That ball lands out of play. Back out to the Fury. Minute 28 to go here in overtime.
Seconds ticking off the clock as we head towards potentially another shootout. My goodness.
Don't say it. De Leon. Getting by Hansen. Oh, kick saved by Waltman. Tayou is pushed down by Jones. No whistle there. Topete. Out to Pittman. Pittman with Keats on him. Back out over to Topete. Dantas stepping up to mark Topete.
We're
he passes it out.
Final minute of overtime. Will we see that golden goal, Philly?
Stinson with Hansen on shot. Saved by Waltman again. Another play.
Punched
Fury
out
still
by
with the
Waltman.
ball. Tayou. Frank trying to get by two defenders. Off of the boards. Nobody there. Keats clears it up. Tayou heads it out, but it's going to be a whistle. Foul on Dantas. Fury ball with 40.6 seconds left to go in overtime.
Huge advantage here on a restart. Looks like it's going to be just outside the yellow line. The foul looked just inside it. That couple extra feet could prove pivotal as the Fury look to get this netward.
Pacheco off the boards to Frank. Frank fighting down low with Jones. Pass, he tried to fight Pacheco, but that ball gets thwarted out by Minetti and out of play.
Oh, we're going to see a top-of-the-arc restart with 30 seconds left in overtime. Oh, man. This is a wild game, folks.
It seriously is. They've been wild these past couple of weeks.
Stryker getting the local AYSO teams in the house riled up as we hear the screams coming from down low.
I love it. I love hearing noise in this arena. And it's a timeout for the Fury.
Oh, my heart can't take any more of this. Folks, it's electric inside the stadium. We're going to keep it here throughout the course of this timeout. Philly, 30 seconds left. Top of the arc restart. Oh, 1 point on the line. Crucial point in this Western Conference standings if the Fury are going to maintain hold of second place and start to distance themselves between the likes of Tacoma and Chihuahua. We'd like to give a quick shout out to our friends at Frontier Communities. Your hometown builder is a proud sponsor of the Ontario Fury. Frontier doesn't just build homes, they build communities for generations to live, enjoy, and love. Your dream home is our mission every step of the way. Learn more at fhcommunities.com. I have a feeling that about 10 minutes of this game are going to find their way onto MASL Primetime. Folks, we'd like to remind you that Primetime is the home for the best highlights, interviews, and action from the MASL each week. Catch the latest episode each Wednesday with none other than Alex Botts-Juvansky.
You're certainly going to see a lot of highlights from this game on MASL Primetime. This game has been exciting, down to the wire.
Folks, please come out and join us Tuesday, February 1st, 7:30 p.m. as the boys from upstate New York head into town. It's UCFC versus the Ontario Fury, live from Toyota Arena Tuesday night.
Get your tickets. It's cheaper than going out to the movies. Tayou, shot ball gets deflected. Waltman there to scoop it up. Less than 30 seconds left to go here in the game. Waltman trying to find Pereira. Pacheco there to head it. Out of play.
That's going to be called a foul on
my
Pacheco.
mistake.
And it's going to be Tacoma ball just in front of the Fury bench.
Dangerous positioning for the Fury, advantageous for Tacoma. 21.9 seconds left to go. Dantas off of the boards to Pereira.
Fury only have 4 men on the pitch right now. Finally, an extra player comes on.
Less than 10 seconds to go. Can the Fury get one shot out before we head into a shootout? Pittman over to Cisse. Cisse trying to find some space to Frank. Kicked out by Holloman. Here we go again, folks. Deja vu all over again. We are heading to another shootout.
Oh, my goodness, folks. Back-to-back shootouts from Toyota Arena. Are you not entertained, Philly?
Harness your inner gladiator. Are you not entertained?
Oh, this is just too much to handle. I didn't think we could get through one night of double overtime, 6 quarters of MASL action, but folks, we are once again going one man versus goalie. It is going to be the first to take a 2-goal lead here as we head to penalty shootouts. Philly, if your head coach, Corey Murray, who once again has to line up his team for a shootout, are you mixing up the stars this time, or are you going back to the same stars as we saw versus San Diego?
I'll tell you this, Frank already had himself a one-on-one with Danny Waltman, so if anything, he's got the head game there. He knows he could score against Waltman. Waltman might think, oh gosh, I got to go against the king again. So I would say you got to put Frank out there. I got to say Justin Stinson probably should be out there as well. You want to get your biggest goal scorers in this position. And our biggest goal scorers are Stinson, Frank, and De Leon.
If you're me, go power first. I would say put your biggest attackers out there first. Don't save an ace in the hole, because what we saw versus San Diego, you might not get that chance. If you're the Tacoma Stars, you probably watched that film versus San Diego. Are you going to attempt their same tactic? Play right, shoot left. We saw San Diego do it back-to-back times, convert successfully each time. If you're the Fury, are you going to take that shot for a top corner that they unsuccessfully attempted both times? Are you mixing it up, Philly, or if it ain't broke, don't fix it?
If it ain't broke, don't fix it. That's the way I always say it. Why break something just to fix it when you don't have to?
Well, folks, it's all going to come down to who can put their foot through that beautiful Flight ball in the most accurate way. We'd like to give a shout out to the folks at Flight, the official match ball of the MASL. It's designed and produced by Flight expertly for the indoor game. Flight, the premier partner of choice for the MASL. Flight, challenge everything.
Hearing For Whom the Bell Tolls by Metallica makes me want to take off this crazy blazer and get on the turf myself and take a shot over at Danny Waltman.
Metallica once graced the confines of Toyota Arena, a concert, Philly, I was at, by the way.
No kidding.
Me some Metallica. Absolutely fantastic concert.
Then you would love it that the green room, it's James Hetfield that, his face was blasted all over it. You were at that show, very cool.
Robert Trujillo in the background there alongside Kirk Hammett as well, too, not pictured, but the sticks of Lars Ulrich featured in our green room as well, too. Great way to help us get pumped for every game when we get to see Metallica on the wall.
Yeah, a lot of cool things go on at Toyota Arena. Obviously, it's the Ontario Fury, the Ontario Reign, the minor league team of the LA Kings calls this place home, and the Agua Caliente Clippers.
Folks, if you want to sport your favorite Fury gear around town, please head to OntarioFury.com and check out those sweet new kits designed by Capelli. They designed the kits for the Fury and for our referees tonight. Here we go, Philly. Pereira on the ball.
It's Pereira and DeLima. Here we go, folks. Strap on your safety belts. Pereira with a shot. He scores a goal.
Well, there it is. Tap it right, shoot it left. Clearly a page out of San Diego's book for Nick Pereira as he finds the back of the net. It's Tacoma 1 and the Fury their first opportunity here in the shootout.
And now we have Thiago Gonçalves squaring off against Danny Waltman. Thiago makes his move. Thiago shot, scores! Thiago Gonçalves with a goal. And that is something we did not see in last Wednesday's shootout. The Fury were not very fortunate in finding the back of the net. We're at 1-1 right now.
Gonçalves, smart move, goes low and right this time. Doesn't try and pick out that top corner. Takes the higher percentage shot. Finds the back of the net. It's 1-1 with Vinny Dantas over the ball.
It's the fellow Brazilians, Dantas and DeLima. Dantas winds up. He has a shot. Off into the goal. Tacoma scores.
Oh, Dantas just finding the inside of the post there. Advantage Tacoma, 2-1 in the shootout.
We see young Jesus Pacheco lining up to square off against the veteran Danny Waltman. The drama is palpable. The air is heavy. Pacheco. Danny Waltman with the save.
Waltman coming out strong, well outside the square of the box there in order to get down and block that shot.
And Mike Ramos, who's found the back of the net already today. It's him and DeLima. Can Clayson stop Ramos, or can Ramos spoil the day for the young Brazilian keeper? It is Ramos. It is DeLima. Ramos with a shot. He scores! He scores the goal, and that's it. That's the game. Tacoma steps into Ontario Fury, into Toyota Arena, and upsets the Ontario Fury. It is 8-7. Clayson DeLima out there, and he challenged Mike Ramos, but Ramos was there, punching it in the back of the net. Tacoma gets a W. Fury lose another game here in Toyota Arena.
Clayson DeLima unable to come up with the save late. It's Tacoma that will take the extra point back north to Washington as the final score 8-7. 2 goals in the final 2 minutes of regulation with the extra attacker found Tacoma an opportunity to take this game into overtime. A scoreless 5th quarter led us into a 6-quarter shootout, and it's Tacoma that finds the back of the net successfully and takes the extra point home. As we see Jimmy Nordberg coming out of the locker room, entering the pitch with his lovely children. Certainly not a happy man, but a happy father. An unhappy Fury team, though, has a huge opportunity to advance in that Western Conference. Standing slips away from them in the waning moments of the game.
And a W in regulation would have helped them not allow San Diego to run away with the West. But at this point, obviously the Fury find themselves in a position, losing at home yet again, a second straight shootout. Something that we haven't seen. We haven't seen this in our entire little broadcasting career, yet we've seen it twice this week. It's been nutty, but hey, hats off to Tacoma. Tacoma played a great game, going up early, allowing 4 straight goals, sticking with it, not allowing the score line to affect them mentally. with 2 minutes and 30 seconds left to go. They somehow clawed their way back, tied the game. The overtime within itself was crazy. And then, of course, we have the shootout, and the Fury lose yet another shootout.
Well, folks, we'd love to see you back here at Toyota Arena coming up in just a couple days here as we have our chance to see UCFC in the house. Utica City coming Tuesday the 1st, 7:30 kickoff time. We'd love to have you here in the arena. I hope that game doesn't go into double overtime again. My voice can't handle many more of these games, Philly.
I mean, between these two overtime games and these shootout games, I feel like we've called 4 games over the course of 2 days. But it was a great game, and for the neutral fan, clearly a game that was exciting. Another exciting game, and at the very least, you have to say the Fury do fight, scratch tooth and nail. And Tacoma, despite the last 2 games, having been outscored 18-5, came into Toyota Arena and certainly battled heavy with the home team.
Philly, I'd be remiss if I didn't think back to our keys to the game. Don't let Tacoma have hope. We certainly gave them hope and let them claw back into this game. Contain the captain. Improve versus the extra man. Both instances rearing their ugly head there in that fourth quarter, as it was none other than Captain Pereira himself who was able to find the back of that net there as we were going into the extra man situation. And look past the locks, those beautiful locks of Danny Waldman coming up big there in PKs as he was able to shut down Pacheco, and that called game for us.
And an unfortunate set of circumstances for the Fury, but hey, Tacoma finds themselves in the winning column. And, I mean, this was action, the second of 3 games within the MASL. Earlier on today, the Florida Tropics beat the St. Louis Ambush by a score of 13-8. And I believe it should be underway right now. We haven't checked the scoring line, but Utica City FC is underway at Pechanga Arena with San Diego. And, of course, we're here in Toyota Arena, the second of 3 games. We find the Ontario Fury losing in a shootout with a final scoring line of 8-7 Tacoma. Folks, Jonathan, what if you're the head coach? I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. If you're head coach Jimmy Nordberg, what do you say to the boys in the locker room after 2 straight shootout losses?
Well, look, you've got to regroup. You've got to put the past behind you. In the words of our favorite show, Ted Lasso, be a goldfish. You got to have that 1-second memory when it comes to back-to-back tough losses like this. There are some things, though, that you are going to have to see, right? As we go ahead and take a look at this shootout here to end the game. Philly, they've got to be better versus that extra man. 2 goals in 2 minutes, both versus that 6th attacker. A couple wide open looks at that open net, just unable to get the ball into the offensive end and find that empty net. As we see here, Danny Waltman coming up big, and the Tacoma Stars coming up big, getting that ball around Clayson DeLima, yet to find himself a big save in this shootout situation. Of course, he did have a massive save versus San Diego that allowed the game to go into the shootout, but he once again cannot come up with the save here in the shootout. A difficult ask of him. It's Danny Waltman who gets the one save that proves the difference in tonight's game.
Of course, and again, you said it, the Fury find themselves on a quick turnaround. There's no time to think and dwell upon this game because they're going to be back in action at Toyota Arena on Tuesday, 2 days from now, less than 48 hours against Utica City FC. And Utica City FC, obviously, we've got to go watch that game. We got the Rams and the Niners game to watch. We got all kinds of sports today. But what we want to do is we want to say thank you for tuning in and spending your Sunday with Philly and the Doctor at Toyota Arena for MASL action. We have nothing but love for all of you on MASL TV, and we can't wait to see you back here in Toyota Arena this Tuesday as the Ontario Fury take on Utica City FC.
Till next time, folks, out in MASL TV land, have a wonderful night. On behalf of Philly and myself, thank you for watching.
Thank you.